but you have a couple reads here, but let's call a spade a spade. This team has a ton of firepower, regardless of how good the game
अब सही
is.
स्टार्ट हुई है
And well, we talk about something when we talk about firepower, because this guy, look, maybe not having
अच्छा डिस्कॉर्ड पे सही चल रही थी
on other agents as he did with the Yoru, but it is very clear here
हैं
that
अहमद
you're going to be looking for something to really be one of the, I always like to say, tip of the spear
हाँ
of
हेलो
the
ओए
squad.
Something is a player with really high highs, especially when he's playing on the duelists. But he's also had some lows, especially this tournament. I still feel like when I watch him play Initiator, if he's locking in that Gecko, it is clear that he is a duelist player playing Initiator, not someone who is like super comfortable on that role. He's not using util in the same way other players would, and oftentimes he's making up for that. With
नीचे क्लिक करना लाइव के ऊपर है
but in this tournament, in that
कहाँ पे
last game, he was getting shut
और नीचे
down.
वॉल्यूम के साथ
Most first deaths in the lobby by far in that game. And
कहाँ पे
he's
कह रहा है
नीचे जहाँ से आवाज नहीं ज्यादा स्ट्रीम की
अच्छा
यार
Most of the
कहाँ
players
कहाँ
in
देख रहा है
Shopify has been an amazing supportive player as well, but Patman has been very, very
तेरे पास स्ट्रीम
impressive.
पॉज हुई है
It was obviously controversial
नहीं
for
सही चलती
longtime PRX fans when the ban kind of got
अच्छा
broken up.
ओके
After that,
ठीक है
really,
स्ट्रीम
really
की वॉइस थोड़ी स्लो कर देते हैं ना
takeoff
ताकि हमारी
from
तेज रहे
PRX. But Patman, by all accounts, I think has been a great addition into this team. He brings an element of stability. He's a very
ओके
solid
नाइस
shooter player. He's a very solid Viper player. He's never going to be the one overheating, making those mistakes. And honestly, I think that's exactly the kind of player that
They need.
PaperX needs, right? They
दो
have
तीन
a
मिनट
lot
तक
of
मैच स्टार्ट
aggression,
होने वाले
a
हैं
lot of insane shooters, and the aggression, it works a lot. But you also need a really stable guy like Patman to show up for this team and keep things calm.
A little organized chaos.
Yeah,
Right? We like
and
a
that's
little
PaperX.
organized
He is
chaos.
the organized
That's
in the
it.
chaos.
Exactly, exactly. All right, well, earlier on, we asked you for our MasterCard fan poll. Who do you think's walking away with the first dub here in playoffs? And the results are in. And you all said PaperX.
हेलो अस्सलाम वालेकुम
Whoa.
वालेकुम
The
अस्सलाम
crowd, everyone went, ooh,
हेलो
yeah, did not expect that one, Mimi.
Nor did
हेलो
I.
Nor did
किसे कह रहा है मुझे कह रहा है
Mention no because of time some people are awake. No, Mimi.
No,
'cause
no,
that's
this
like
ain't
so false here.
this ain't a time zone thing. They all
Yeah.
just voted.
I think that is also result based because we still have not seen G2. We
Sure.
have to see how they do without the Deco, and PaperX was very impressive even though they almost nearly lost. I think it's very easy to be a paper girl, paper boy.
It is. I do think the biggest like strength for G2 coming in is that they have had a ton of time to prep, that they have a
Yeah.
really incredible coaching staff to come into a new meta, that they've been great at double control
Yes.
before. But there's still always questions, right? When you have to change up everything, when you still haven't been seen,
Yeah.
versus a team that, well, it was a rocky road, has been on an absolutely ridiculous run throughout the stage 1.
अच्छा डिस्कॉर्ड पे क्वालिटी सही है
Toronto as well.
Yeah, it's okay. That was a fascinating poll there. All right, we don't let everyone know though. Quick reminder: make sure you get those pick'ems powered by AWS out there right away because you got a gun. You got two buddies. Excuse me, player titles,
Oh, it's
bragging
maple syrup.
rights.
That's so cute.
All of that is on the line. Make sure you go out there and do it. Boom, easy peasy.
कुछ
all
नहीं
right?
यार
Don't
बंदे
miss out.
काम के
Free
लिए
stuff. We like free
काले
stuff.
कर रहे हैं
And
कैमरा
let's
साहब
go
काम दे
ahead
रहे
and
हो
see what our talent predicted
Huh?
for this
अल्लाह का शुक्र
matchup.
है
For well, okay. So for both matchups, we ended up getting a lot of Sentinels fans, but Kukuka, you holding the fort for
ओके
SLG. Same thing with Wyatt
ठीक
and
है
Listen, I am scared because as you've seen, Achilles is 10-0. He must be
Yo,
Nostradamus.
he's got to stop, man.
I think that today he's going to be stopped. But as you were saying, XLG for me, I am so sold after what we've seen for the Chinese
Yeah.
teams. I'm jumping on that
Alrighty,
train. I'm just
okay.
leaving everything behind, not even carrying a backpack with me. They've
लेकिन
convinced me. I am the
साथ
easiest
बोल
person
ना
to
उनको
convince
क्या
on earth that
क्या हो
that's
सकता
I
है क्योंकि
struggled
पता
to
चले
be sold by
व्यूअर्स
a
का हम
first-time
जानते हैं मैचेस
all-rookie
के बारे में
roster with a sub as well. They were great at
व्यूवर्स
times.
आने तो दे करेंगे शुक्र सारा लगाएंगे
Glad that Achilles is in first with that smug smile on his
I
picture.
can't believe he's 10-0 after that group stage.
Unreal. The man's a wizard, clearly. All right, folks. Well, we're done the yapping.
Where
We
is the
talked about
fucking
what we're
team?
gonna be seeing
The
here today.
team
12 सेकंड के अंदर मैच स्टार्ट होने लगा
Playoff started, shall we?
कौन सी टीम आ रही है
G2
एंट्री
versus
चेक डाली
PaperX.
एंट्री
You
एंट्री
got
अबे आगे
XLG
आगे
versus Sentinels. Day 6 of
PaperX आ रही
Masters
है
Toronto is gonna be starting right now.
ओए कितनी प्यारी एंट्री दिखा रहे हैं हमारे 25,000 की वाचिंग आ रही है और बाकी काफी स्ट्रीमर्स भी कर रहे हैं।
We started from PC Club.
फिर भी बड़ी है 25,000 लोग।
tournament
ये
in PC
PaperX।
Club, and it was like no one knows us. And then
यार भी मैंने जान डाला
we win Ascension.
लेकिन फिर सब अपना जाना शुरू हो गए। ये लैंग्वेज नहीं आती।
And then after Ascension, we started kickoff, but we lose to EDG. After this, we practice a lot. We told ourselves we need to go Masters round, and we now are here.
now we're there।
कहता था सुबह उठ के छत पे जाके कहता था मास्टर टोरंटो बनना है।
We're on the right track. I think we showed some good resilience, and I think we made it entertaining at the same time.
Being
इंट्रो बनाया हुआ है पूरा।
succeed, we came here to prove ourselves, so we want to show we are ready.
we want to show we are ready।
But any team we play, he's going to do his homework and he's going to do his thing, and he's going to lead us to victory. No matter who you are, Sentinels is going to come out on top.
ओहो सेंटिनल्स का कॉन्फिडेंस जागा।
ओह,
ये PaperX क्या भाई है?
We playing G2, they pick us. When we chose G2, it didn't go our way.
कितनी फनी है यार।
This time they chose
पहले उन्होंने
us.
अपनी हार दिखाई थी भाई, हम हारे थे।
Our revenge.
ये
ओए
है ना बात।
मैच ये देखने वाला होता है।
Picked us last year in Shanghai. Actually gave me a lot of motivation. and
उन्होंने बताया कि भाई हम हारे थे।
how motivated or focused you may feel, just know we're gonna be more than you, and we're gonna come out on top.
ये है सही, वो छत पे खड़े होके बना ली
Demo,
उसने।
I mean, he stole the trophy from us.
This could be it. Another chance for Jing. It's all over. EG are your Valorant World Champions.
Every time I see the LA bundle finisher, it still haunts
ये
me.
वो D4 V4 वो सेज थी जो।
Bonjour Gemo, I know you've been hitting insane shots lately, but this time we're gonna shoot even harder.
It's our standard at G2. We're built for lifting trophies. Right now, it may not seem like it because we don't have the international one, but eventually it's gonna come, and I think it's gonna be this time.
स्ट्रीम पे गर्ल स्क्रीन तो नहीं आ गई?
ओए ऊपर बाय एंड शेयर वैलोरेंट आ रहा है, क्यों बैन खाना है?
कहाँ पे?
वो ऊपर तूने बुत मार किया हुआ है।
नहीं तो ये ऑफिशियल है।
अच्छा कैसे? Yeah, dude. That fucking teams are here.
And here we go. It's time to kick off the playoffs here in Toronto. And we're starting
अच्छा अभी बैठ रहे हैं ना, अभी बाकी मैप वगैरह तो आई गेस डिसाइड हो चुके हैं कि कौन से हैं।
वो दिन के हो जाते हैं।
that have been prolific in the sport of Valorant ever since its inception, and here we are today about to see these two titans clash against one another, Mimi.
The last time these players were in front of a North American crowd at a global event, it was Dojimo stealing PaperX's trophy away from them. They thought it was going to be the last match for Jing. They came back. They had their lows.
स्प्लिट और लोटस, अच्छा उन्होंने वो पे किया, उन्होंने वो पे किया।
And then we look at this Omen map select. We're going to see
PaperX ने
that
split लिया है।
to be our first map taken out by PaperX. I'm surprised because we saw in the playoffs in Americas G2 actually picking this map a lot. So I hope that they have a good read. Of course, we expect to see a G2 without that Deco. But as you were saying, Mimi, that double controller that has fitted most of the teams is going to be fitted also on the side of G2. As I said, 6 out of the 7 maps already shown by PaperX in this competition. So I'm very excited to see how that starts off.
Yeah, both of these first two maps for PaperX are going to be their Yoru Raze double duelist compositions. I expect G2 to want to play a really different style here. In the past, Valorant teams have been excellent in that control meta, playing very slow around the double smokes. For me, I fully expect them to go that way. The question is just, what is Jaw playing? Does he go back to the Raze or the Neon as he played in the past? Or
फुल स्क्रीन कर।
play the Yoru? Because, well, Teo
You can
is
make
pretty
it
much
work.
gone. Yoru is still probably one of
ये लो
the
वैसे भाई,
most
full screen लो।
trusted agent in the game.
You cannot be scared when you play against PaperX. You need to face off against
ओए हम लोग देखा
the
कस्टम के अंदर बैठे हुए हैं सारे।
having the Euro and having Jogamo. He knows exactly how to do it. We were seeing it in the video. He stole that trophy for them. might know exactly how to play against them, and also do not let them get into your head. We also saw PRX taking a little bit more time in that huddle, just having a last
स्ट्रीम क्वालिटी पता नहीं कैसी है.
how important it is. If G2 are to live to expectations, this is not going to be
10
easy for
60
PRX.
FPS ठीक है.
अटक तो नहीं रही.
नहीं ठीक है.
मैं मोबाइल पे चलाई यहाँ पे तो अटक अटक चल रहे हैं.
In the Swiss stage to qualify here for PRX.
इधर ठीक
Honestly,
है.
they should have won all 3 maps.
Okay.
They should have won split, and they should have stomped on map 3. It had to go to OT because they let off the gas. They started making mistakes. They have to show a much more.
I think it's buffering.
Showing here if they're to beat a team like G2.
ठीक है, नो इशू. ओके. मोबाइल पे बफरिंग हो रही है ना, रुक जाती है फिर चल जाती, रुक जाती.
I ended up thinking they could have lost. They
चल
could
मैं
have lost all of those
दूसरे अपने आईफोन वाले में चला लेता हूँ. फिर मैंने ना उस पर चलाई नहीं थी, मैंने कहा
that they can win, and when you get so close to it, you still have to push for the win. You have to be convincing. But if that was the PRX that we had to see in Swiss, if it was going to happen, it had to happen in the past. And now when it comes to playoffs, when you're going up against
अब जल्दी स्टार्ट करो, रहा नहीं जा
you
रहा.
have to be prepared.
Here we go. All right. So your answers
ये
have
agent
been
band
given
क्या?
here. It seems like might be getting jog on that.
वो क्या चला रहा है?
But, we are gonna
अच्छा, वो सेज ने वाइपर ले लिया.
different from what
4 सेकंड हमेशा ओमन ही जाता है. समथिंग का ये वही है ना जो हग रहा था उस दिन.
I didn't
ये
realize
पैड
that.
बैन चेंज हुआ है.
I'm old, everyone. I'm old.
Just yet.
कोई समथिंग
I
अच्छा
think you
खेल रहा
could
है.
just switch Trent 1 for 1 onto the fade and
मुझे लग रहा था वो चेंज हो गया, पैड बैन आ गया.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But Jogamo going on the race, that would be a change, right? We're speaking of him just playing the Euro constantly. If we are to see that change, that would be interesting. Still, the hovers, they just want to keep us waiting.
Yeah, potentially. But of course,
Okay.
To what you were saying before about Jogamo on the Rays, I mean, sorry, Jogamo on the Euro, he's also played the Rays plenty of times
For sure.
as well,
Yeah,
too. So he's got
of
that.
course.
It's been his best stage
Yeah,
in his
I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
अहमद स्ट्रीम वगैरह पोस्ट तो नहीं है ना?
The race
चल रही है ना?
नहीं नहीं ठीक
Bind
है.
was in the map
Okay.
also, so
Yeah. good
देखता रहे स्ट्रीम में भी कोई इशू है तो मुझे बताएं, ठीक है?
Leaf is gonna lock the fight, but there's no surprises. This
अच्छा,
guy
क्वालिटी
is
अच्छी है, हैं?
best lurk players on
Quality
that.
1080
he goes on the
So
Euro.
intelligent and yeah.
And it is
unfortunately, It's gonna
fade.
be the same thing. There's the fade pivot. Okay, this is pretty much what we thought, right? You're still gonna get the double flashes with both the breach and the Yoru. You have tons of line control with that stun and the Omen paranoia as well. This is just a straight up good comp, and it's honestly a really easy pivot away from the tail meta.
Yeah, we're seeing
ये उनके कोच बैठे हुए हैं.
100% map win. That one loss that they
एक इनका
had
एक्स्ट्रा प्लेयर होता है, एक कोच होता है, अहमद.
Thieves, if I'm not mistaken, and it was
एक कोच का
14-12.
assistant
You know
हो
that
गया ना.
another map that they could have
हम्म.
won perfectly. So G2 should be extremely comfortable.
बिल्कुल माइनर सा डिले है, मजा भी है.
All right, folks, we're set for the first map of playoffs. So let's go ahead and send it over to your casters. Make some noise for Achilles and Paper Thin.
Thank you very much, Test. Here we are. Playoffs is finally upon us. And off the rip, a rematch from Shanghai. G2 going up against PRX. This time, G2 having the selection.
Yeah, I mean, pretty wild to think that we're going to see a very similar opening to Masters that we saw back in Shanghai last year.
अहमद स्ट्रीम पे लिख आई लिख के माउस लिख.
2-0 in the group stage. So a lot here to prove for
एक्सक्लेमेटरी मार्क नहीं होता, आई शिफ्ट 1 और माउस लिख. देख बता रहा है वो.
playoffs in that matchup against Team Liquid and nearly stumbled at the very, very last moment, but got it together, got themselves here. These are two teams with multiple regional titles, but only one player on that stage has.
सेटअप तो मेरा सारा हुआ हुआ, ये बताना तो चाहिए.
So for everybody else, the path to getting that Masters trophy starts right now.
The theme for the event is redemption is
वो बताया उसने. देख नाइट बोर्ड का मैसेज नीचे आ गया.
looking back on that moment, losing the trophy to Jogamo once again.
मोनीटर लिखेगा, स्पेक्स लिखेगा, हेडफोन्स है.
To kick off the playoffs.
और मैच स्टार्ट हो गया. मैच स्टार्ट हो गया.
PRX starts on the defender's side for the entirety of this matchup.
अटैकिंग कर रही है ना कि डिफेंडिंग कर रही है? PRX डिफेंडिंग कर रही है.
PRX डिफेंडिंग.
Pressure down. Doesn't matter what
PRX नहीं, वो अटैकिंग कर रही
Push
है.
out, Trent.
नहीं नहीं, डिफेंडिंग कर रही है. उन्होंने प्लान करना है PRX वालों ने.
Tiny little tick of damage taken there.
Time to jump.
In the meantime, a sight. Doors open. G2 making themselves feel comfortable.
मिल गई साइट.
Information there with just Trent's little peek. But now PRX, I like this.
अबे इनकी ये वाइपर की वॉल कितनी वीआईपी की इन्होंने, हैं?
Only plays to come through here for PRX. H.L.'s not going to be able to find too much damage. Just going to barrel their way down through Elbow.
ओह नाइस राइट क्लिक.
To get out from Mountain.
Oh.
Jogamo responding in kind. Patman stealing one back to hide. Flushed out. Now it's all down to Patman. Top of the spike. The
हैमर ये G2 ने क्या दिखा दिया?
Yeah, I mean, just everybody trying to flood through that elbow, but that toxic screen has a great placement there to kind of keep the positions hidden just a little bit extra longer for G2. He can really line up and do some damage there. Great work around the corner. Jogamo holding the line behind the screen. And then they've got two players still over at main to lock that down. And that's going to be something PRX struggled with a bit. You know, just thinking back to their match against
Zinda Craft Fighty, welcome to the stream, brother.
We're a little bit off sometimes. You know, a team that likes to flood, a team that likes to go in that death ball, and good teams will cut that apart.
All right, now G2's avoiding it. Seeing pretty much everybody aside from Divide.
OG Ahad Whitey.
This has been a lot of the eco rounds for PRX on this map. Want to just grab the orb for sure.
Even if they do get the overwhelm and push forward to find the leaf, which is
अहमद तो बड़ी इजी साइड ले रहे हैं यार.
be the most impactful of weaponry, which has now been taken away from them as the sheriff's going to be left on the floor. As Divide does get picked off.
That's a nice find. Let's see what PRX wants to
वो कर लो प्लान की अच्छा कर रहा था उनका बंदा ठीक है.
Sometimes they will, but most teams will just die to the spike here, or at least try to. The real danger player is Leaf. Let's see if PRX is going to be ready for that. A tremendous lurker. Never know when he's going to show up. A little bit of delay with the util.
Yeah, just further cycling them back. Leaf, we'll see if he's going to be able to find another. Looks like he's got to catch the timing, so Forsaken does get taken down. Himself can go ahead and upgrade this sheriff now. Trying to play for a couple more ult charges as he swoops around the back here of Ali. Peek coming in.
Nice.
To find it. He's up that kill. Pushes to the corner, finds Jinx stunned up. Patman gets
Nice.
a shot. 4 overall clean kills here for the fate of PRX, but G2 otherwise will give themselves a fairly clean anti-eco as they start 2-0.
Yeah, pretty stock standard
बड़ा
stuff.
गंदा हो गया ना क्योंकि स्टार्टिंग में जो राउंड है वो तो बच्चे भी जल जाते हैं.
नहीं वो पता क्या है वो पिछला राउंड के बाद गेम ही अलग हो जाती है ना. देख देख शॉट्स इसने अच्छे मारे हैं.
वही तो स्टार्टिंग के राउंड तो बच्चे भी जीत जाते हैं. अब बैंड नहीं यही ना पता चलेगा.
Of course, he wants a stinger.
I was going to say, I should know better.
Leave the dream seer to me.
Least shocking purchase. As Trent sending out the haunt here to see if he
वो
gets
क्या स्कैन मारा है.
escort forward over towards ramp.
कितने यहाँ पे 3 है ना. हाँ 2 बी हैं 1 मिड है. 1 बी है 1 मिड है.
After this minor exploration, G2 going to look to change it up a bit.
Yeah, already a little bit too much contact for their liking. And that's a team that this is a team that is very diligent about those kind of things. They are so smart about identifying who is where and understanding, you know, what kind of opponent, you know, setup they're going to be dealing with, and then looking to find the weaker side.
अच्छा अहमद G2 भी प्रोफेशनल सही है. बदला लेने आई पहले हार चुके हैं PRX इनसे.
PRX से G2 हारी ही पहले.
हाँ जी. नहीं नहीं PRX हारी हुई है. उन्होंने बोला नहीं कि हम अब रिवेंज लेने आए हैं अपना. तो अभी अगर यहाँ पे जीतती है ना PRX तो ये उनका रिवेंज भी कंप्लीट होगा. 2v2 की सिचुएशन है. नाइस. फाइनली एक राउंड लिया इन्होंने.
Yeah, I mean, I think a little bit of lack of mid control this time cost PRX. Not able to figure out how big the push is going to be from G2. I mean, Forsaken, okay, able to win that battle. Gets a second, but Divide gets trapped in a really awkward position where he just doesn't have any outs. They've got the crossfire from up on the rafters and through the box. And then the rest of the team is able to show up just in time. Forsaken going to be on his feet a lot if PRX is doing well. He's been their hype man this event for sure.
Absolutely. Looking to get him a bit entrenched here in Garage. One way now on the setup.
Should give it away.
Oh, he's going to push up into this, get up on top of the box. And
Oh.
Alan, I'm not sure if he's going to read this.
अबे तूने वाम का शॉट सुना?
There eats a bit of damage, but
हाँ.
he's able to go ahead. Spare them any further catastrophe.
Went Forsaken's done that before. It's been a hold around the corner or in the cubby that Jogamo's looking at. This is the first time we've seen him use that smoke to jump up on top of the box. That is a great change-up from PRX, and it costs G2 dearly.
PRX वैसे अच्छी पोजीशनिंग पे खड़ी है, मिड पे दो बंदे देख रहे हैं. अबे यार वो फ्लैश में मार गया.
Now, one of the ways you can disrupt G2 is if
वाइपर फ्लैश मिलेगी. नाइस.
when they're thinking about doing their executes, when they're thinking about trying to use some of that util. Forsaken there works his magic. That is absolutely brilliant.
ये देख, ये उसने मारा था.
Divide there, full flash.
हो गया ना 2-2.
Knew right where Jogamo was.
2-2 हो गए.
And that's a really solid round for PRX.
This is one to be scared of if you are PRX. It's just about full stingers in the hands of G2.
It's just as fearsome as when they have rifles almost.
Something with the outlaw. Quickly forced off the angle, forced back over in towards the spawn. As Salam is just TPing forward, taking so much space here. He's already in the heaven. And he's gonna catch them off guard. Runs out of bullets, swaps the classic, still gets some damage in, and Patman cannot find more in ramp. This is exactly what I was just talking about. G2 immediately in with a two-player advantage.
Incredible on Ecos.
Dimensional drift going forward. Forsaken nearly caught on time as the Prowler caught on the wall.
दोनों उधर है.
Knows Leaf's position. Draw goes for the exit. It's the spray and pray, and Forsaken left to his own devices. 1v4 at 46 HP. G2.
इजहार को भी बुलाना था, उसने भी देखना था.
Disrespecting the setups. Taking away this round win. Back in the lead.
And this is one of the hallmarks of championship caliber teams, is that they can win ecos at a pretty high clip. And that's going to be something G2 does very early in this match. Round 5, double headshots there for Trent. Absolutely nasty stuff. Like you said, Valen, way ahead of where PRX could expect.
G2 ले लेगा ये round.
Something that's been hurting PRX in this event.
और क्या टीम नाम जीत गया वो.
Negative space, not always quite aware of the possible positions of their opponents. I mean, how many times have we seen them get killed with knives out in their hands? Definitely something they need to shore up. This is a G2 team that is going to try to make you guess.
तो एक बंदा हमेशा मिड जाता जरूर है.
It's going to be a lot on this guy right here, Leaf. He is fearsome, but there's a three-man stack here.
ये देख 3 यहाँ पे.
Tucks back, drops down. Paranoia going to be sent, but only eats a tiny tick of damage there to the back.
हैमर कैसे बचा? अकेला था हैं.
Trap play doesn't come to fruition. Patman now going to be slowly creeping his way through the spawn to try to set up a flank here, but this B site very much open for the taking for G2. Push on the corner though, Forsaken.
अबे हाँ, nice 4 second.
Shot on the Trent delays a little bit further.
Gives you the man advantage too.
Spike planted.
1-1 drop checked, but there's the timing.
अबे
When it's the worst possible moment there for something. Patman needs his flank to be big, but it is being watched, and it's just going to be taken down off the rip. Player advantage now here for the side of G2. The push into the smoke. Forsaken able to find one. Jogamo does get eliminated. TP forward. The swing out from Divide. Arriving on the Raptors.
अबे ओए.
Divide gets the 3K. PRX gets to the fuse, and we stay tied up at 3-3.
Forsaken's creativity on the Omen is something else right now. The way he uses this smoke to set himself up to initially delay the plant, give themselves that man advantage, and then he's going to TP forward after finding a kill in the smoke, trying to come out of alley, and that sets up Divide for the nice bait and switch. And then Divide from the Raptors drops the elbow down on top of G2. Got some ults to work with though now. You've got a Nightfall, you've got a pit there for G2. You're one away from a Rolling Thunder. Close to some big ones. Jing one away from a Showstopper, something one away from a Dimensional Drift. So a lot to work with here for both squads in terms of the ult economy.
You might just be looking to up the pace here once again. Some pressure here on the Leaf. Dan is able to go ahead, stay back. Nightfall avoided by something. We'll be hearing the line share of these players. Prowler scouts his position. Knows that the Aura State crash either back inside the buy is going to be taken down as Valen. With that stinger, just comes away with it. Attempted a pre-fire, but
हर दफा एंट्री मिल जाती इनको.
stays alive. Entering Nightfall now going to be sent. Point blank on the rocket, doesn't find value. Jogamo quickly trades it out. Big player advantage maintained, but now expounded upon here for PRX. A 2v2 is back swings the corner for Forsaken. Comes around the box.
4 second बच्चे, 4 second.
Once again, scraping by with a retake as things get
Yeah,
chaotic.
4 second बड़ा अच्छा
Gaining the
play
lead
है.
by 1.
Well, their mechanics are looking really strong right now for PRX. They're flooding together. It didn't work early. And now it's starting to really come together for them.
यार वो राउंड वाइपर ने बहुत मजे का निकाला था.
Early and it maybe looks like G2 is going to be able to hold it down. Forsaken, Patman coming together nicely there. Nice swing early from something. Gets doubled up on, but that opened up the space for the rest of his team to start controlling.
उन बेचारों में प्रेशर आया हुआ.
Really nicely done. G2. Now they want to take a timeout to think about this. I mean, I can't really fault G2 in a lot of these rounds so far. I think they've been doing a lot of things the proper way. They've been finding that open space. They've been getting those plants down in either, fair advantages in terms of everybody has the same number of players, or maybe they lose one. But overall, they're doing a good job of kind of getting through the initial lines of PRX defense. It's been these retakes all of a sudden have just come alive.
So a timeout call. Maybe just
timeout ले लिया.
Okay, let's slow down. We usually are the ones that dictate the pace of teams that like to play chaos, that like to flood retake. Hasn't really been seen so much. A lot of that to do with, as you were talking about, the creativity coming through from PRX. Found themselves 4-3. That's without Jing being able to find a huge amount of impact. Killers for the moment has been involved in these eliminations with the 4 assists that he has, but that rocket seeming like maybe the best chance for him to get on board in that round.
Oh, for sure. It just was a, kind of an awkward situation there. G2's trying to play ahead of the rocket, but I think you can give Jing a bit of a pass as long as he kind of steps it up a little bit, because he's been their best player so far in this event. So for sure, not the end of the world. But the bigger thing here for PRX is they came out ahead in that ult economy, and now they can use this Viper's Pit to completely make mid unassailable and stack up over on one side.
Mid melt कर दिया.
Just through the wall, able to find Jogamo. Realistically from G2, how do you try to pivot from here? What does the play look like when you don't have that Yoru to try to cause disruption and chaos on the entry? Valen's shown that he's more than willing to go double.
फिर भी सारे mid पे इकट्ठे हुए हैं.
Without those added layers, those flashes in behind, can be a lot more difficult. It seems like they're going to land on trying to push up into this smoke and overwhelm.
You remember the corner he was tucked in last time.
Able to avoid it, to push forward, spots out one. Trent just quickly traded back, drops the pit here in mid.
That's bought a ton of open space on the map. Just going to be Forsaken, potentially over on the A side. Patman may be thinking about sliding back over into a 2-2 here for PRX. Haunt to check, doesn't get any contact. G2 still a bit away.
Cycles the smoke out here. Onto the main entry.
30 seconds left.
Trent at the ready, util in hand, trying to send his Paranoia's gonna go flying. A little bit of damage gonna be dealt here by Forsaken, sends out. The Paranoia connects on the leap, comes up with the kill. He is gonna be stuck in position.
अबे 4 second क्या कर दिया?
He is all alone with 5 HP in a dream. Tuck around the corner. The nade going to be sent. Jing will go ahead and get himself on the board. As PRX this time able to avoid the sting around.
Yeah, they read this round really, really nicely. I like using the Viper's Pit right away. That's a part of the map that has given them problems on some of the rounds they've seeded. Here, Patman.
Nice.
Oh my God. This makes a good read. G2 doing a little bit of homework though.
हम लोग देखिए एंड वाला कैसे मारा.
PRX was on this defender side against Team Liquid. That's the corner that Devi was tucked up in when he sent that pit. So they knew where he was going to be at. Use that fault line. Able to at least trade it out. But everything looking solid. Operator.
Now in play.
Poison's off.
That's where the rounds start to get scary for G2. Something line value.
Oh, line swing out here from Devi. Jogamo.
योरू मार के ना हमेशा टीपी कर लेता.
पता ना अपनी पोजीशन चेंज करनी है. रश ना हो जाए.
Brings it into a 4v4.
As soon as he kills Leaf, something's over to the other side of the map. Reads this beautifully.
Crash out to safety, but can he get on the line in time? That smoke should buy a bit of space, and oh boy, Forsaken, he's got the judge, but they're able to go ahead and take it down. The clone leading the way. Jogamo instantaneous with a headshot. Gets rid of the operator. Still absolutely frying. Patman swinging around the back. Jonah P perfectly ready for it, but like he had to read, but able to have the shots. Up now, scooped up here for Jogamo.
Fake teleport.
As Patman will reroute up in towards B heaven.
1v2.
Trent gonna be the first line that he has to fight across. Stuck on the angle. There, with the lineup. G2 answering one back, breaking the win streak from PRX.
G2 भी यार.
Close.
Yeah, this time PRX tries to go for some early aggression to deny the plant. The judge up front gets denied by the clone. This is a jog round. His Yoru on the biggest of stages is one of the best. He is so tricky to deal with, so smart with the way he uses his util. Frustration there from something. Feels like he probably should have had that. It was a good read on PRX's part in some ways, but they just weren't quite coordinated enough that time. Now we got a big 5-man stack for G2. Over on the A side, Jogamo gonna go on a dimensional drift.
Second one of the half.
Jing's in trouble.
Leading forward, and he's gonna be able to spot quite a many few players here. Said Jing in a rough position, is pushed out of this one, and Jogamo somehow comes away with the kill.
तीनों ने एक पिक निकाल लिया.
He should have been dead to rights. Pit now invested here on the site. Divine Forsaken swooping around from A main versus 4. And how have we gotten
ये मुश्किल है इनके लिए.
स्पैम वगैरह मार के कोई ले गया तो ले गया.
वाइपर नहीं ना सामने आएगी, वो वाइपर हाइड हुई है.
ये देख, अच्छा लग रहा था यार. 4 सेकंड गया था, वैसे अच्छा था. ये टैरेंट अच्छा खेल रहा है. टैरेंट ही मारा था उसे.
ये क्या है?
Yeah, I mean again, such great stuff there. Off the dimensional drift, getting so much information.
And then getting the kill on the exit.
Yeah, just absolutely brilliant stuff. I mean, Jog there with the shorty too. He's doing everything in this round for G2. You give Valen that much information.
5-5 चल रहा है.
To rip you apart. You have the pit for the post plant. Tremendous.
Oh boy.
Still having some fun.
Certainly are.
Where are you?
In a spot where this could end up being a 6-6 half. Vault over the top, Valen. Rest of the team immediately taking a ton of space here at ramp, firmly in their control. 4 players. Position though for the side of PRX. With Divide joining. Things are about to get potentially a bit weird. Is okay Forsaken able to find one with a Sheriff. Something comes away with a kill as well. Find ourselves in a 3v3. As the Nightfall moves up, but this is damn near everyone. Divide a hair off, being able to have the angle. Something spots everyone on the exit. Doesn't have the time to double back to go for a weapon, just trying to intercept.
Just all about timing here for something. You can see Jonah P aware of it.
Being watched by 2. Jonah P swings back of the pillar. Patman now arriving.
Spike planted.
2v3 with just the one rifle between them. Head's gonna be spotted. Patman gets his taken off. Something will collect the weapon. He certainly has his work cut out for him. The silent drop. 2 flashes available to try to utilize. A double stack at backside. On the peak, nothing noted there. Sends a flash. Jonah P
यार.
find the kill. Team
G2 भाई cooked.
G2 securing 6.
क्या फजूल टूरिस्ट ले लिया है इन्होंने.
Even though the beginning part of this round looks like it's
इक्वली जा रहा है अभी तक भी देखा जाए तो 6-6 अगर हो जाए तो.
5-man stack for PRX. The Nightfall just misses. Divine not
ये हार गया ये राउंड.
player on the exit with his Sheriff.
मैच ही पूरा.
G2 looking really good. I love the way that Jonah P is just firmly in control of the flanks. He is perpetually watching what is going on the backside for G2, especially if Leaf's not in position on those lurks. He has really done a good job. Even if he doesn't necessarily win the battles, it's still about having that info and having that awareness. Forsaken actually doesn't TP forward, TP back this time. So a little bit of trickery, trying to confuse G2 about how he's going to play this garage spot.
कैमरा भी ऑन कर लूं? फेस कैम.
Yeah, that same smoke cost him dearly.
नहीं ठीक है ऐसे ही.
He's going to be
लोगों ने
very,
मैच
very
के
aware
देखना है
of it this
मैच.
time. Looking
उस स्ट्रीम पे कह रहा हूँ. कैमरा के साथ वो रिव्यू ज़्यादा लोग ज़्यादा देखते हैं.
Spam in mid. That's going to maybe shift somebody over. No, okay, PRX opts for a different angle.
And something is not on the correct one if the swing comes through. Okay, does send out a shot. Looks like they noted each other. Quick check in towards vent here from Jogamo on the silent drop. Patman watching and waiting. He's gonna ride that right side rope up though. Continuing steadily push for a bit little moment there. A quick peek.
Should be a flash.
And might just feel the back away, but it's gonna be the clone. This does get information. They know that it's being watched. Two players set up here. Inside of B heaven. Divide. Jing. Look at trying to hold this line. Jing able to find one. Blast back. Gets out towards safety. Paint shells to try to buy some space and some time. Finds another.
कैसा उन्होंने वहां से पुश किया उन्होंने पीछे से भी पीक ले ली
Leaf strikes him down. Patman now having to do everything. They cannot make it happen. 7-5. G2 are out in front of the half.
Little bit of a run there early for PRX, but G2 punching right back with 4 in a row of their own. Really found their groove there as that half wore on.
But already some incredible scenes, some great back and forth between the two teams. G2 out with the lead, but it's a narrow one. We'll see what happens when we come back after halftime.
महमूद अहमद आया देख तू
Okay.
माहिरू देश क्या हुआ टाइम आउट लिया फिर उन्होंने
नहीं वो हार रही हैं PRX वाले
Take a look at the econ report here, sent by Coinbase, as Patman has been doing wonders for the team, but Jogam on the opposite side, he is running the lobby.
Just shouldn't surprise anybody.
उनकी टीम में 2 बंदे अच्छा खेल रहे हैं टीम के भी 2 बंदे
PRX के
इक्वली जा रहे हैं दोनों ही नहीं इनका जो डेमो हो रहा है ना वो खेल रहे हैं थोड़ा टाइम प्ले
उनका जो योरू हर दफा एक आधे पीक निकाल लेता
Then on the other side, something again struggling a bit here on the Yoru. Needs to pick it up both the duelists for PRX here on this attacker side. This should be their opportunity to start opening things up.
Needs to be, but one of the things that's been very rough for PRX at this tournament has been the pistols.
Yeah.
Haven't been able to get too many of them across the board and dropped the opener here. We'll see now that they shift over onto the attacking side, if they can find an ever important pistol win.
Yeah, this is a very crucial one for them. It would get them right back in the game. Be a nice start to a side of the map that you feel like they should be pretty strong on, but G2's defense always something to be feared. So good at making the right decisions at the right time. Early util dump, but a fault line gonna back up the main forces of PRX. But this is just a fact-finding mission, it seems like. No spike in the vicinity, so this is just them trying to set up for a pick. But G2, wise to the game, playing pretty far back, want to give PRX a little bit of false comfort. But you've already seen some of the initiator util. And if you go towards this A side, I mean, you've got the flashes, you've got the fades, you've got the breach util, the stuns, everything. So this is going to be tricky.
Bit of damage suffered there on the Patman. Spike still going to be set in mid. Jonah P just going to be backpedaling. And it looks like the pivot will be coming through here from PRX as they try to storm their way across into the B side. But
push कर दिया पीछे से
जब इनका मिड से निकला तो मिड ही करी जा रहे हैं बार-बार ओए 1v2 लो जी ये
अच्छी टीम है यार
हार चुके हैं ना पहले ये
सही तुलना था इन्हें और नहीं ऐसा भी ना कर वो 2 से भाई क्या कमबैक हुआ था
हाँ
पता
वो
नहीं
तो हम भूल
क्या
ही गए
बात कर ले
अभी खिलाफ नहीं होना है
रांग कहते हैं ना गेंद की आखिरी ओवर की गेंद तक खेलो कोई नहीं ये पाकिस्तानी मीडिया नहीं है नहीं बैन होता चैनल
on the initial one, gets 2. The second onto Forsaken is ridiculous. He had taken 30 down to 34 health.
ओए अच्छी शॉट अच्छा मारा उसने
there at the end, holding the line, but
शॉट अच्छा था रे बाबा
playing back the whole time is G2, just trying to mirror the movements of Paper Rex, and they put themselves in a phenomenal position to take away Paper Rex's map pick. Little cheeky combo there off the rip, but mostly just to take control of the orb. They will grab it. Devi, Sheriff in mid, looking for an opportunity, but Jonah P not going to give it to him. Valen, Paranoia at the ready. He's ready to set.
वो देख वो अंदर आए मैं
फ्लैश मार दूसरा
ओए ओए नाइस 4 सेकंड
4 सेकंड नहीं
4 सेकंड मारे ना 3 नहीं 4 सेकंड 3
मारे 4 सेकंड नहीं मारे वेलन ने मारे हैं
अबे क्या हो गया
जीतू ने वेलन ने मारे हैं देख किधर रहा है
3 ओमन ने मारे हैं ना
तो वो वेलन है दूसरी टीम में भी ह्यूमन है
रुक जा मुझे तूने कंफ्यूज कर दिया आने दे जरा
4 सेकंड तो जोना ने मार दिया
रिव्यू आने दे शक में डाल दे तूने मुझे देख वो होल्ड कर रहे हैं हमारी टीम होती है इधर आगे घुस जाती है एक पीछे से आ रहा है
टाइम उनका वेस्ट हो रहा है
शॉट गन थे लकी जानी थी अच्छा रिव्यू
ये नाम देखिए
अच्छा ठीक है मुझे लगा था ये वेलन है
वेलन ही है
मुझे लगा 4 सेकंड है
दूसरा फिर आज मुंह ना बैठा हुआ
अब वो नहीं खुश होता
I mean, I think you're fine with 5 on defense for Paper Rex. I think that's why he didn't pull the timeout. If this one doesn't go their way, 100%, there should be a timeout. But once again, a mid-stack, a little bit of a pullback for G2. They're giving up some of this A main space, opting to try to maybe corral Paper Rex at Heaven. One of the problems for Paper Rex is they didn't control A Heaven at all, and it seems like they're not going to again. They're just going to flood the site. Spot of control here for Paper Rex. 5v5 retake, getting ready to kick off. It's a little peek in towards ramp here. Very much stacked. 3 players from Paper Rex sitting out through main. Swing out into the open. Patman eating an immense amount of damage. Literally 1 HP remaining on him. Down by Trent. Patman going to be trying to do his damage. Flash connects. Jing clean on the corner. He's able to collect 2. And gets the 3rd as well. Must just be an attack-sided raise, but Jing comes alive when they need him the most. And tries to mitigate the losses. Still 2 players lost from Paper Rex, but they deny the bonus conversion. Yeah, Paper Rex able to hang on despite some trickery here from G2. They make it look like they're going to push down ramp. They send a lot of their forces that way, and then double back up towards A Heaven and come from screens in Heaven, and it does actually probably give them a few extra kills there. Paper X not quite ready, but ready enough is Jing on the back of sight. Phenomenal there with the Phantom. Bulldog though for Patman. For Devi. Oh boy, yeah, just a Phantom. The judge for leave. A little bit scary, but I'm gonna try to rely on Jing. Just win some individual duels. A lot more players stacked up this time for G2 to try to deny access. Jonah P with that breach util can be really annoying. Can send some flashes on the jog. Devi under some pressure, backing away to avoid it as swinging in. Full flash from
clone. Jonah P just holding down M1, spamming through the smoke and screens, trying to see what he can find. And something's going to be taken down.
नहीं spam तो ये भी कर रहे हैं, हम spam पे तो नुबड़े कहते हैं हमें.
Will can take it down. Patman trades it back on a 1. Comes to the corner, the swing out.
ये गेम है, सब कुछ चलता है गेम में. जरूरी नहीं है spam करो तो noob हो.
भाई इधर ओडिन पे चलाएंगे. इधर तो ओडिन पे चलती है.
All alone now. Just Patman with everything to do. Swing on the corner, finds the first. The Hawk going to be sent. Re-swings. Clears out lead.
अल्लाह भी वहीं पे है. ओह नाइस.
किसने निकाला?
बैडमैन ने. अबे अच्छा प्ले इन्होंने चेंज किया.
क्या प्लेयर वगैरह चेंज किया?
हाँ बैडमैन आया ना न्यू.
अब मजा आएगा बॉय.
And that could be one of those tide turners. He's got 18 kills on the map. Patman is flying.
Hobby leader. Again, into a bit of a half purchase here for G2. Never a freebie when playing against this squad.
No, this is so dangerous.
For the Bucky, a sheriff for Trent. Stinger in hand for Valen. About to make contact against all of these players here in Garage. Fowler, however, does manage to scout him out. Needs the bullets. He backs away. Boombot gonna get cleared. Somehow, pretty much no one ends up taking too much damage.
उसने फिर वो स्ट्रेंजर बगल ली, पता नहीं 1v3 का गेम हो जाए.
Jing now does have a showstopper online.
They're gonna commit to this.
Taking the gate crash, trying to get some detail out. Jing finds Jonah P. Sees the wheel there. Top of the rafters. Spray and praise. Finds one. Nate's gonna go out. Trent already dead.
नाइस यार PRX ने देखा मैं क्या कहा था कमबैक होना है.
तूने कहा था?
मैं कहा था ना 11v2 से हो जाता तो ये भी हो जाएगा.
This is monstrous for PRX. They're able to fight through a G2 that is pretty well prepared for this hit to come. And you don't
नहीं इन गेम में करते हैं.
You're able to get through this round extremely clean. Jing now starting to heat up on those entries. Need those first kills to go his way. A little bit of whiffiness here and there, but hey, believe, yeah, absolutely. And then on the other side, the yin and yang of PRX.
PRX का हम सपोर्ट करने आ गए. PRX ने तो हारना शुरू कर दिया.
For the exit over at screens and he's able to find Trent. Stopper not finding too much of anything there as Jonah P will get flushed out.
Spike down A.
3v2. The advantage and the sight opened up here for PRX.
Plant one plant.
Linger from Divide. Slowly creeping his way up mid in towards Vents. Chogma with just an operator. Needs Leaf to try to do a bit of the heavy lifting here to get them into the site. Leaf himself at risk if Divide just simply turns around. And there's the pre-fire.
Toxin screen down.
Wall to fall, Divide seemingly narrowing down the options. So where his counterpart Viper could be.
अहमद उस स्ट्रीम पे कैमरा क्वालिटी देख बस.
Looking for maybe just the full retreat.
देखी अच्छी है.
Yes, he has. Cleanup comes through. 3 players surviving. We are tied up 9-9.
Yeah, this is a nice dimensional drift from something. Obviously getting a lot of info, but the way that he tucks himself in at screens catches Trent completely off guard there. Jonah P takes a really nice angle there because he knew the player behind him got revealed by the haunt. He wasn't going to be expected to be that far forward in that corner. Gets a kill because of it, but after that, PRX now starting to rock and roll. And it's going to be the second time out here for G2 Esports. PRX still going to have both of theirs. So this is going to be interesting. That was the buy round. That was the op being picked up for Jog, taken out of his hands. It's going to be another eco coming up.
Behind that eco, a hell of a lot of ultimates. Rolling Thunder, Hit, Nightfall from the shadows, all at G2's disposal. Plenty to try to utilize here. Let's see if they're going to be able to pull off a little bit more of that thrifty magic off the back of this timeout.
Might have to, because PRX is going to be coming into cycle themselves pretty soon.
पर मैंने zoom कर दिया गलती से. Zoom हो गया मेरे मुंह के ऊपर.
PRX is going to have a bit of money to sit on for quite some time here for at least a couple more rounds. make their buys. The real question is here for G2. What are the change-ups? Do you get aggressive at the mains? Do you try to contest some of those early orbs, some of that early space? Or is it just a, hey, let's make sure we're not trying to take challenges at angles we don't need to, at moments we don't need to. Let's make sure we're waiting for the reinforcements, because that's where they were really hot on their attacker side, is when they were coming in 3-4 strong. PRX would challenge them one at a time. It's going to be an early pit.
To be invested for Seika, fake on the TP.
Yeah, just looking to see if he can get a response out of G2, but the discipline from Leaf, very, very good.
बंदा बन जा वैस
Corner with a frenzy.
यार सेटअप किया नहीं अचानक वैस कैमरा ऑन कर दिया चेक कर रहा था मोबाइल का ही कनेक्ट किया क्वालिटी वगैरह देख अच्छी है
Footstep gets made. See, for the most part, they're avoiding it for the time being. The Prowlers are going to be committed towards heaven.
थोड़ा जूम आउट हो गया जूम इन करता हूं अभी 9 एंड ज्यादा गेम बड़ी फंसी हुई है
Finds the hit. Chocobo going to be taken down. Divide, able to flush him out. He saw consideration for the rolling thunder there for a brief little moment, but it seems like the call comes in. No, it's going to be far too risky, far too costly if we can't convert. So instead, they're going to have to just fight their way back down the ramp. They shall. Being dead leaves a weapon on the floor, potentially recoverable here for G2. Trent's Prowler gets the spot out. Takes position noted.
ओए अच्छा स्पैम मारा था उसने वैसे
नाइस तेरा 5v9 से 10v9
क्वालिटी अच्छी बंदा अच्छा अबे भैंचो
अबे डीए पे फोकस कर लो यार
भाई राउंड खत्म हो गया चैट भी पढ़नी होती साथ साथ
चैट बंद हो गई पढ़ो ना
अबे यार रोस्ट कर दिया रे अच्छा स्पैम मारा उसने
That's a really nice pickup there for PRX to buy one away from his ult, so he can get the plant down potentially and get that pit right off the rip. Chog, he's gonna try to snipe there.
दोनों साइडों पे उन्होंने पुश किया है
just has to TP out.
वहाँ पे फेट हो गया आगे इधर बी साइड पे
Not getting too crazy here, just doing a little bit of fact finding.
फेट ने एरिया चेंज किया
just kind of trying to decide how exactly they want to navigate this now. Probably really thinking about those other ults.
Team mid दे रही है
with that rolling thunder, with that nightfall.
Nightfall could just come
फेट ने साइड पर की टीम को मिड से पुश दिया
That's exactly what is going to happen. PRX anticipate this. They hug back. This Prowler on the chase quickly cleared out. For the moment, G2 not fully convinced about this push. Valen blinded up here at backside. Sees the chain, swings the corner.
ओए ये 4 सेकंड हमारे
एक तो मारा उसने
मेरा कैमरा गलत जगह था मैं नीचे गया थोड़ा सा अब ठीक है
How do you get yourself back into this, and do you commit a Nightfall to try to identify these players' positions? Goes into the peak with a flick.
क्या जिंदा है
अबे यार फक
Reposition comes through and something in behind them.
निकाल के भाई PRX ऑन टॉप है गाइस
PRX get up to 11.
Great awareness here from PRX, realizing that Valen had TP'd behind the box. He wasn't still behind pillars. And Forsaken getting aggressive there on the Omen, opening up some space in this reposition from something.
अबे यार ये
ज़्यादा पैसे हो तो शॉर्ट रेंज में सही चल जाए
Gets a 3K.
क्लोज रेंज में उसने हक दिया भाई
PRX. The coordination today starting to look really good, and Trent, some frustration being shown.
It's one of those moments you don't want to hit tab. You don't want to see how much damage you just dealt. Such a narrow margin of error. It's something now.
नाइस
अभी कॉन्फ्रेंस आया में लग रहा है अबे यूरो डिफ हो गया ना यूरो डिफ हो गया
Out in the open with this plan.
Jing looking for a timing. Jonah P with a belter of a headshot there off the Sheriff. He's able to note and deal with that enemy raise. Patman on the push. Nearly cut in half. Does manage to stay alive. That brings it now into a 3v3.
4 सेकंड क्यों आया जा रहा है
Decent position. Fallon ends up getting taken down. The pit now in play. Just go ahead and try to seal the deal on this. Divide with clip leap there, right in the leg as he goes bounding forward into that pit. Jonah P now, no other recourse but to try to back away and hold on to this operator as Paper
सेव कर रहा है
यार पेपर एक्स वालों ने यार 9-9 पे आगे कैसे 9-9 इक्वल था ना इनका
storming his way through the vents, taps the rope,
995
to the top. Jonah P finds the first.
जब मैंने देखा तब इक्वल था जब मैंने नोटिस किया सही
यार ये पागल है तो कोई नहीं
अभी लेंगे वो टाइम आउट ये अच्छी पीक निकाली थी इसने रिवेंज इज रियल है
लास्ट राउंड देखते हैं क्या होता है
on this attacker side. One more to close it out here to take their map pick, to take the opening map of the playoffs here at Masters Toronto.
Immediately the rush forward here, nothing spotted in towards A Heaven with the dimensional drift. Able to take a note here of Leaf's positioning. Something exiting, teleporting back out with the gate crash. Chagama holding close. Gets pushed away from the angles, the paint shells fly.
ये जा रहे हैं लोग भी ये आ रहे हैं
स्पॉन्सर रोटेट कर रहा है
यूरो बैठा हुआ है वहां पे ऑपरेटर लेगी G2 वाला का
got a decent lurk and then G2 should be aware that they didn't spot him out.
एक तो निकाल ले गई
I don't think they're going to be ready for him on site though. I think they think he's still at screens.
Trying to line up Jing, unable to find it. Shorty.
ओए होए कहां से निकला
कोड मारता मर जाना था
अच्छा है ना बचत होगी तू क्या चाह रहा है Okay, nice Viper.
Trying to go for this ult send. Sends it out, but it's only going to find the enemy Viper. Leaf, get TP at the back. It's actually Valorant arriving here on site. Leaf, as you say, trying to go for this flank. Ends up pulling down at 32 HP, but Valorant is able to find a Vi at the same time. And now the site.
अबे क्या गलत टाइमिंग थी
Something up and over the top. Dealt with. It's all on Jing.
What the fuck
ओए होए होए ओए
यार अल्ट में लेट हो गया
क्या राउंड निकला यार अहमद
वर्ल्ड कर देना टाइम से तो जीत जाते हैं
नहीं राउंड जीत गए हैं क्या हो गया पेपर एक्स जीती है ना पेपर एक्स जीती है
आ रही है डिफ्यूज हो गया था वर्ल्ड लेट की रेस ने चेंज ने
अच्छा डिफ्यूज हो गया था कोई नहीं एक राउंड निकाल ही लेंगे
नहीं ना एक राउंड से तो हारे थे पहले भी
हाँ याद आ गया कल वाला मैच है मैप 1
aggressive towards mid, and again G2 is playing very passive at the early parts of these rounds. It's really how ready are they going to be for Jogamo's forward position with that operator. Haven't seen this yet. He's holding on the other side of the toxic screen.
Ducks back to try to avoid the boom bot. Will get spotted. There's with a short. He doesn't necessarily indicate the Yoru, but the flash certainly go ahead and let them know that the operator is going to be in this position. Paranoia sent, dodged. I thought maybe he had gotten away from it. Either way, they're not able to play off the back of it. Forsaken just TPing up top here for the moment.
This could be a Vents angle here for Paper X. They can suss this out. They know that the Yoru's on site. That might be what they want to avoid.
Made out from one angle, sees onto the other. Trying to peek. Still a fault line at the ready. The shorty swap. Forsaken. Not checking this. Not ready for it. Gets caught. Goes down. Jonah P gets ready to buy. Able to go ahead. Equalize it at a 3v3. Some spam damage on the Trent. Puts him to 33 health as the spike now gets planted by Patman.
Not much util for either side. Paranoia for Valen. Flash for something.
As everybody committed into the site. Leaf free reign. They're trying to just walk his way down ramp.
Something has to find value in this corner.
It's hit by the Paranoia, but he's not the player at risk. Divide, finding another, but now it is all on something. Knows Leaf's position, knows he's there above, but Leaf seemingly does not have the read! And this time, OT will not be found. Paper Rex take down G2 on their map pick of split 13-10.
Yeah, a lot of adjustments here made in a very short amount of
पेपर
time.
एक्स जीत चुकी है पहला मैच
They do a great job finding that open space, finding those plants and taking their time.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I sure as hell am entertained, and I'm hoping that this series is going to deliver many more maps just like that. We've got Lotus coming up next, G2's pick. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
तो बस टीम पोज है हेलो जीडी बस नाइस हो गया क्या गया था यहाँ चल लेना जंप बैक कितना टाइम है अगले मैच में
अगले मैच में अभी शुरू होने वाला थोड़ी देर तक
20 सेकंड तक अच्छा दूसरी गेम है ये सैन वालों की है
नहीं सैन वालों का आज नहीं है मैच मेरे ख्याल से
वो है गेम 2
अच्छा हाँ हम लोग को यंगस्टर सा कोई गाना शाना लगा दे
स्ट्रीम का वॉल्यूम तो
खुद बंद किया हुआ है स्टार्ट हो जाए फिर देखते हैं
सुनो तो ये क्या कह रहा है ये कोच है
ये कोच तो नहीं है
Very jittery, nervous.
कोच है
This time we
PS
played
वाला
together, played composed, they comms very well, and I'm very proud of them.
It's nice to see you smile. Good luck on map 2.
8 लाइक होगा
And W Gaming gets themselves a W here to kick things off in Toronto during playoffs. What a start between these two teams. Absolute fireworks from start to finish here. But of course, it's going to be PRX who walks away with the victory. And oh boy, that was Oh, it's getting a little heart palpitations.
It's crazy to think about how both of the halves started because PaperX managed to close that out only with G2 winning both of the pistols and having a very good understanding of how to play against PaperX. They were their own worst enemy in so many occasions, and still, just because of that attack half, they managed to close it out.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of heroics that we've seen across the board. It's actually start off with our Ryzen, a high-speed moment from Divide, because we talk about those individuals, Mimi, this is a great example.
And this is what you're talking about, Baya. Look, they're up in a 5v4 here. No one else is ready for the retake, and something flashes into hell, dies for it, and then this flips out of the control for a second of PaperX. It looks like G2 is going to close out this postman, and then Divide hits 3 lovely shots with some great
अच्छा खेल गया ना हमर पेपर उन्होंने एंड पे आके सही कमबैक किया उन्होंने ये वाइपर ने राउंड निकाला था याद है वाइपर वाला राउंड अच्छा निकाल गए थे
But that was a completely different story in my mind once we got to that second half.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was very scared because we saw a Jink that was not present during that first half. The first kill that he got was off of a nade with a combo as well with Patman.
Yeah.
It was even deeper, so it was not looking good for PaperX. Coming out of the Swiss stage, they were the team that was doing the worst in 5v3s. That says a lot about how they lose that kind of like head in the game that they are so good at.
But they looked great on this attack side. I think the team fighting looked much improved with this Yoru Raze composition. The synergy was on point on those dives on A, and G2 just could not figure out how to hold that site. They tried to go for more hard anchor rounds towards the middle of that half, towards back into playing a lot of retake, but PaperX showed much better fundamentals and also, of course, amazing individual play to just win out, pounding a round after round.
Yeah, and one of those individuals, we talked about him briefly, right, making his debut here in a global event. It's Patman, who just looked unbelievable, really. Whether it was the role that he was doing, which obviously was very effective, handling exactly what he needed to do, but we were seeing the slays come out of this guy, and it was impressive.
I mean, him winning that 1v3 on A, so many of this round started off with him getting that first kill. Is not only how comfortable this is, oh, here is the 1v3, how crazy it is in this post-punch, how strong PaperX are getting. I think that especially, and speaking about those pistols being won by G2 and the advantage that they have, he was the one keeping PaperX in the game until it got to the second half. And I think we also need to talk about the Jogamo versus Something, because Something was a massive difference when we were speaking about that attack. We're seeing those A hits, especially if Jing is not having a good day. Him and Divide were putting so much pressure onto G2.
Yeah, Something did so much work in those A post plants, playing like the deep position, kind of tucked in that corner, underheld. It's so difficult to deal with. He did really well there. But for Patman, I mean, he's on a team with Something, with Jing, with all of these like big name players who have been the best at like international events before. And here he is, top fragging in a first map that ended up being super duper close. You couldn't ask for anything better from that new ad.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I mean, you could not have asked for a better start to this one. But of course, the pressure is on for the #1 seed coming out of the Americas. We got G2's Josh RT standing by with Yinsu.
We're heading to G2's map pick next, so I wanted to ask their coach Josh RT, how much did what happened between
PaperX पहला मैप किन्होंने लिया था?
In this map pick, and what is it about PaperX's Lotus that you feel like you could exploit?
I think comp has some weaknesses that we are gonna try to exploit, of course. And also, we're always a good Lotus team, so I just look at the relative strength between the two and felt like that's a solid map pick for us.
I can't wait to see it. Good luck.
Hey, and I cannot disagree with that. It always has been a solid map for G2, so they feel confident in that regard. Of course, we'll see what happens here as Lotus is going to be up next on the docket, and then, of course, if necessary, we'll be taking a trip over toward Icebox here. But what do you make of that one, Kukuka? Do you feel like Josh RT is giving us some info there? Not much.
I think that he has a great point, right? We do not expect him to be playing the Tejo, but they have
Hello, Ahmed bhai, kya haal hai?
Good point.
In fact, before the composition that they're playing with the Tejo,
Walaikum assalam.
when they were running the
Well,
Viper and the Killjoy, it was against PaperX that they played their last map before swapping around. I think that they have a good read. I want to see what they do against that double duelist. Again, if we see a different face of Jing on that attack, that could be a very, very big tell for the side of PaperX. But on the other hand, Split could have also been a very good pick for G2.
Yeah.
Like, I think the overall veto favors them a lot.
So, something that I do want to point out, though, is you could really see, though, as well, the momentum that PaperX do lean on, especially in that split game, because that could have gone either way.
Hello.
That's like the whole thing with PaperX. Ever since they made that mid-season change, brought Patman in, it has been all momentum for this train thus far, just coasting their way into the playoffs. Agent select up. I expect a very similar thing here from G2. Likely play the same comp, just sub in either that Sova. Probably the Fade is what I would expect.
Jind ka main hai Dez. Padman ka Fade, something ka Euro for that in common. वो सामने वाला का mix up है.
Waiting for this. We want to see, especially with them starting on the attack, the effect that is going to have with those two initiators behind you.
Despite G2's success this year, Jaw has had one of his lowest individual performance years ever in his career since he's been a player at that international level. That's not because he's been bad. It's because he's been playing Neon, he's been the sacrificial lamb, had to be diving into all these different things.
Yeah, YouTube पे वो stream like करके आओ.
On one of his absolute best agents back in front of an NA crowd to show us what he's got on that Neon.
All right, folks, well, let's go ahead and find out how this one all plays out. Can it go the distance? Let's go ahead and send it back over to your casters and jump into map 2. Here's Achilles and Paper Thin.
Thank you very much, GB. I don't know. Toronto, what are you guys thinking? You guys want to see a map 3? All right, we'll see.
जा like करके आ. तेरी आवाज क्यों स्लो आ रही है?
So very long on split, but PaperX regained the reins. Rode off into the sunset with the win on split. See what happens is, once again, PaperX pistols have not been kind to them.
It looks like it might be a full 4v4 scrap here early.
From the flash, shot him on the peak, dead. Jing.
Start हो गई.
Hello.
हाँ मदद. Yes.
Of the entry power out of the hands
They
of G2.
Because you have that
The general से पे है.
quickly pivot over to the other side of the map here to match G2's movement.
Instant damage taken there from Valorant. 5 to clean up. Finds it. And something will get overwhelmed. Flanked through the site. Poison orb lobbed in and on that peak. Devi ends up losing his life. A 3v3.
नाले quality 10 कैसी है?
From a very strong start into a bit of a lopsided round now for PaperX.
Oh my goodness.
Full stairs push coming through now for G2.
This is madness, but Forsaken and Patman are lined up.
इस बार फिर PaperX नो defending मिल गया.
Just get stunned there by the fault line.
मैं खुद choose की थी.
Have to repivot back. G2.
अच्छा.
Breaking down the baby door. But already you've got PaperX arrived here at upper. Looking to try to take them down. Lead gets himself a third. The Jing.
Nice.
Will get 3 of his own. PaperX claiming
Credit goes to this.
बंदे ने पूछा ਜਾਂਦਾ है कि एक मैप निकाल दो. फिर एक मैप चूज करो. फिर दो मैप निकाल दो. फिर लास्ट मैप चूज करो.
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਪ ਉਹ ਚੂਜ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਦੂਜਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਚੁਆਇਸ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਗੈਸ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਅਟੈਕਿੰਗ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੈ ਡਿਫੈਂਡਿੰਗ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੈ.
इतनी चॉइस दोनों ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ.
खुशियां चेक करते ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ.
ब्रो उर्दू बोलो यार स्ट्रीम पे बढ़ के बच्चा हो सकता है.
Just take that pistol away from them. As for now, weapons not being fired. No confirmation on this force up. Shots here from something. Backpedals, avoids the fault line. Space gonna be taken. Wall does get popped, so Spike cannot be brought forward into the B side quite just yet. But Valen, it's a good amount of space forward there at upper. Sheer wall now gone. No, it's tucked here at the connector, sends out that paranoia. Players arriving here from main. Jonah P. Tag down low. He and Lee both eating an immense amount of damage. Trent though finding his timing, swings around the back, collects 2 kills.
ये तो अच्छे अहमद अपा गन यूज करना स्टार्ट कर दिए. अबे
शॉर्ट रेंज अंदर बहुत अच्छी है.
कौन ले गया राउंड?
G2 किधर से आना है?
ना काम में कर रहे हूँ. छोटी स्क्रीन ना पूरा नजर नहीं आ रहा मैंने.
send another player through.
Match देखना.
So it kind of keeps PRX guessing a little bit. They have to pause. They have to wait this out. They don't have any information on what's going on. And that just allows G2 to set up for those late lurks, to take that early space.
I'm like करके हैं.
And that's a great call there by Valen and company. And Jing going to be having the Bucky. A couple sheriffs otherwise. G2 now looking to play their bonus.
Sees Nan just opens up some space. Orbit gets grabbed. Jing going to be 2 charges away.
एक ही बंदा. दो ने ना? हाँ दो हैं.
Trying to get that rolling thunder.
इन्होंने full buy किया है.
3 charges thus far. Divide force back. Paranoia flying his way. Well as those relay bolts. Backpedals and
Entry लेते हुए.
waterfall and try to go on a time.
हैमर का लाइव मैप सी जिनने कमबैक करवाया था इन्होंने.
Had a little bit of miscommunication there for PRX. Players trying to make some hero plays.
Fights back towards waterfall. Forsaken. Flushed out, and right now G2 are looking to try to make this one a flawless to swing forward, and that Bucky is not going to sing. 4K for Jonah.
G2 तूने पता शुरू वाले राउंड जीती हैं उन्दी.
जोना ने अच्छा खेलता है.
G2 शुरू वाले राउंड जीती हैं उन्दी. टेंशन नहीं लेनी.
Something to try to make that aggressive maneuver. Jonah P ahead of the curve. It's Patman as well, and a 4K for the professor. Yeah, that one's got to be a little bit frustrating. But really, I think PRX could have done a little bit more damage there if they're a little bit more patient, wait for that retake and then flood, but it is what it is. Forsaken going to go for that Odin once again here on this defender's side.
High player stack as well. As a paint shell lobs in, Jogamo going to be eating a good amount of damage from it. 51. Forsaken looking to further delay. But Jing ends up being found. Flushed out of the corner. Shot going to be committed there. Get him out into the open. They're able to collect the kill, so an advantage now here for the side of G2. Seems like they are more than satisfied with that on this side of the map, and now look to maybe pivot.
This is classic G2. Just take your profits and move on. You got that one, you don't need to press your advantage. Just leave Leaf to his own devices. Try to win some battles on the extremities. Patman gonna have to
detain है.
Looks like he's gonna try to follow up. Try to
challenge into this one.
नहीं मुझे भूख नहीं है.
Rotated across towards C site, just cycling the smokes there on main. Looking to spray at the ready. The orb grab though, Jonah P. Now one away from having that rolling thunder online. He's got the spike in hand. And that's going to be a massive post-plant tool here for them.
Read this.
30 seconds left.
Absolutely need to. Fast lane. Now going to let them know. Finds the
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
अबे इसको भी मार देता ना.
Scooped up. The break of the door. Time starting to dwindle here. Thorns get raised. Look at themselves into the site. Locked in here by the wall, but Patman does manage to find one.
Nice. PRX लाइए ground वाला.
Had to pull up the plan here for a brief moment. Now is able to stick it, but cannot draw his weapon.
Nice. GG. 2v2. 2-2 हो गया.
We'll tie it up at 2-2.
3v2.
Love this little change up of positioning from something. We haven't seen him tuck into that corner quite like that. You know, PRX will leave a player hidden somewhere over on A more often than not. It doesn't get read by G2. I don't think there's any tape of him doing that. And then it's just great coordination here. That's something PRX is going to need. Because G2, you make any mistakes against them, and they will take everything. And it almost looked like maybe G2 was just going to have this great methodical classic round where they work the map, they get the orbs, they find that opening kill.
Retrieving thorns.
They just kind of play for trades the rest of the way, but something had other ideas. Does
not have a weapon. Okay,
you don't need it.
Over.
He's got a rocket. He's fine.
Well, they hand him one all the same. As Forsaken is one very much getting bullied out by Trap. Swing forward, something trying to take some space here, but losing his head for it. Massive advantage now here for the side of G2.
Oh my god. They time the C's here.
Swing out.
ओए ओडिन. पहले आपा ओडिन चलाइए तो इधर जाके समझ गाल आएंगे.
नहीं वैंडल नहीं उन्होंने मारे.
ओडिन मिड दे विच ओडिन फाइट हुई है.
नहीं वैंडल नाल मारे नियोन ने. नियोन ने मारे 3 बंदे.
The Hunter's Fury, the overdrive. Drone scout spots nothing. No one's home.
अच्छी साइड एंट्री ले ली इन्होंने.
Goodbye. It's going to be rotating off. The call to save has been made.
Definitely the right one. Some head scratchers here for Paper Rex. Something going for that swing onto Jogamo. Had a fair opportunity, but Jogamo really dialed in this round. And then that two-man push in towards mid. Questionable. Just not really reading the map well there. A lot of times G2 is going to be rotating in force. So unless you're thinking you can catch Leaf in that spot,
देखो बंदा ना किधर को मंड गया.
that's the only way I could see that being the right decision.
Leaf is looking to catch them.
Oh, absolutely.
Not in the most vulnerable positions though, as the door just force a rotate from Device, so should be able to dance around this as we wait for the spike to go off. So 2 weapons still going to be retained here, it would seem, unless he hits a hell of a shot. But Device hears the footsteps and stays tucked back. So flawless round. G2 regaining the lead.
Yeah, just really good stuff here from G2. Maybe going to be a timeout. The first one being called.
Timeout ले लिया उन्होंने.
Now, Alex, let's take some time. You know, one thing that worked really well for Paper Rex was finding their moments of contact to set up these pinch plays against MIBR and as well against, against Team Liquid. And those were working so well. Obviously 11-1 on their defender side, but they would get contact. They'd let them take Mound, and then they'd open up the door and swing from 2 angles. They'd let them take B, and they'd collapse on them. They had all these great ideas. But G2 is a very different opponent. They aren't going to give you those opportunities. They're going to be really diligent at the start of the round. Again, looking for those early advantages, looking for that first kill, and then they're going to start working the map. They're going to look to see what you've left open because you've lost a player. So as Paper Rex, to be very cautious at the start of these rounds. You really have to make sure that you understand the utility where it can be, when it can be. You know, Jing getting flushed out by some of that breach utility earlier caused him to go down early. Something just taking some of these individual fights. You know, sure, you want him to have that confidence, you want him to have that ability, but a little bit more backup behind it for Paper Rex. So at least they can trade. That's what you'd be looking for. Guardian going to be bought here for something. Everybody else still has enough to get rifles. Obviously, the Odin carried over, a bunch of ults on both sides. So a lot to consider here for both teams.
Ready.
Ready. Not ready.
Able to find a Guardian here for something.
Standing ahead.
Pretty low on funds. Recon over the top. Not going to spot anything out.
Paper X faked the Seek pinch. They sent out the Paranoia and some of that Fade util just to see what the response would be. But G2 is just sitting in spawn. You see this after timeout sometimes for Paper X where they go for those early aggressive plays. G2 very ready for it.
Jogamo noted, identified a little bit here. Behind the wall, will get spotted, but that's about all that's going to be gained here from the Dimensional Drift. Quick little exit from something. TP's back over onto the A site.
Hammer.
Space being gained.
Paper X हाल ही जीत जाएगी ना, फिर अगली गेम आपा वैलो खेलेंगे.
Players about to be stacked at Mount.
It's a great smoke timing from Forsaken, right as they're coming towards C. That could buy them
तो स्ट्रीम पे क्या से
दूसरा राउंड है ना एज एक ही दे फिर जीत जी चांस वगैरह थोड़ी है दूसरे का
अहमद तो स्ट्रीम लाइक करके हैं
सब्सक्राइब भी कर गया
कैमरा क्वालिटी कैसी है
अच्छी की मोबाइल है
तेरे भाई ने 4K का ओए 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 3 कड्डी हां अच्छा निकल गया कैमरा लेके आया वहां 2K 60 FPS वाला 18
18,000 ਦਾ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ
आगे ऐड क्यों किए
भाई जल्दी चलाओ की हो गया
नंबर है गई ਹੁੰਦਾ
क्यों किया नहीं वो वेब कैम है ना पीसी वाला
अबे मैंने भी वेब कैम चाहिए ना क्रिकेट वाला
अब भाई वो अलग होंदे ने
आहो हेलमेट ते लगे होंदे ने ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਪਏ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ
मेरा तो स्ट्रीम बंद होने लगी ग्लिच आया स्ट्रीम च स्ट्रीम ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਡੀਡोस मारता
He finds 3 kills there on that retake flood. And that is very, very nicely done. A great nightfall as well. Great timing there from Patman. Catches almost everybody on G2. just an orb grab here for PRX. Nobody home for G2. They're going to be pretty well aware of it. So quick pivot over to B. Oh, what a stunner from something.
Not clipped by the relay.
अहमद मोबाइल ही लगाया है
It's one hell of a shot.
आईफोन
Again, set entry power.
हाँ मैंने पता लग गया मैं ख्वाब देखा ली
की
आप इंग्लैंड है सारे
अबे बहन चो
हाँ
तू बस मेरे स्माइल चेक कर स्ट्रीम पे इंग्लैंड वाली गल सोच है तू थाईलैंड नहीं क्या यार ना मैच फसांदे क्यों नहीं वन साइडेड जीतते क्यों नहीं
Maybe try to spray through the wall, but the wall is not raised. And on the jiggle peak, we'll be able to spot out a multitude of players. The question is, G2, do they pivot in the connector and try to get a plant down on B? Jing is watching. Swung out wide.
30 seconds left.
Trent is trying to fish for him here. Jing unable to avoid the stun. No swing coming through.
Oh, no. Oi.
He gets away scot-free, but Valorant pressuring forward, able to find one. Lead now going to be taken out. Jing able to find another before he falls. Clutching from behind. And there's the
अबे अहमद यार बड़ा प्यारा राउंड से आला भी
loss of Jogamo in the early stages of the round. Leaves G2 reeling. They fight back.
प्यारा राउंड प्यारा
Tenacity, but they're just not able to find the round win.
Well, you're seeing an extra little bit of patience here from PRX in these last couple of rounds. You see Valen scratching his chin a bit, trying to figure out how they're going to deal with this. Some good paranoia, some good flashes this time. Jing on the point of attack, holding the line nicely to find two. A great flash and just a smothering here. PRX coming from every direction. Re-clearing that space on A. Really nicely are Forsaken in something. Here we go. G2 though, not going to fall for it. This an immediate pivot over. Everybody was there from PRX. That's spam.
PRX यार बड़ी आदत है अटैक करके खेल दिया डिफेंडिंग ते भी एक ले गया 4 सेकंड ही मरे अहमद अल्ट दे विच भी
That's the smokes that you no longer have to be concerned about.
Tap at the door, try to get some kind of reaction here out of PRX. Throw the smoke as well. Something likes to play up in these a bit.
They're gonna just pop flash and push out of this one. And that's gonna be
Trade both is Rudy team and the yaar area clear ke last.
Able to find one overdrive. Escorting forward. Finds the headshots across onto Divine. Patman and something with 40 health between the two of them. Versus 4 players on the side of G2. Seems like as the pendulum swings, we're just gonna be trading back these round wins. Line will not connect, but something just dropping down into the site. Instantly noted and dealt with. Jogama with a huge round to keep things neck and neck. As he gets the ping reveal at the end.
Yeah.
4K here for the Neon. 4 rounds for G2.
अबे नियॉन ने 4 मार देते हैं
Yeah, that's a great momentum swing, a great economy swing here for G2. Able to get themselves right back into the thick of it, using some of those ultimates to great effect. Jogamo, Desk was talking about his Neon.
The card, ये तो card है पता नहीं लगता कਦੋਂ आया.
Highly regarded on that agent. Absolutely destructive with the overdrive.
Door load कर देना.
नहीं ना कोई गल नहीं यार अपनी कर रहे हैं आ जाएंगे तो फिर किया यार
ऐसे नहीं लाया डोर नहीं लोड किया
नहीं बंद है लेकिन तो बोल लेंदे ने अब मेरा पैर बाहर खड़ा हुआ संदा है
टोंकड़ियां मट मारने वाली गल्लां करना
भाई क्या कर रहे हो फैमिली देखती है स्ट्रीम
अहमद भाई आप लड़न पे नहीं चलो ठीक है फैमिली फ्रेंडली टीम आप गंदी बातें कर रहे हो यार ये अहमद को बैन दो यार
काट अहमद सही गाना काट रख एक मिनट
भाई देख रहे हैं 2000
भाई लोग बाजे देखते हैं अंदर नहीं पता
आप जाओ पूछते हैं रोज आके
यार नियोन नु की हो गया नियोन नु की खवा देता है तुसे
नियोन गुस्सा आ गया रही है समथिंग कर लेंगे इजी मतलब के वाइपर कर लेंगी easy
ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਹਿਣ ਤੇ ਦੇਰ ਸੀ
अबे
बस
ते एजेंट ही भूल जाते हैं
Just look for the pick. Throw out some util to make sure that the area around the orb is just not going to be assailable for the players of Paper Rex. You catch Forsaken trying to hold an angle there just a little bit. Phenomenal work by Jogamo on these entries. He does have a showstopper and a Bucky. It's a weaker buy here for Paper Rex.
ਸ਼ੋ ਸਟਾਪਰ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਬਾਰ-ਬਾਰ
And we've seen Paper Rex try to
ਬਾਲ
get
ਤਾਂ
Forsaken,
ਕਿਤੇ ਤੇਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾ
try to
ਲਾਇਆ
see him forward.
A lot of aggressive space taken off of this one. The wall raised. He's just gonna go pushing forward.
Oh, nice.
Cutting him down. The paranoia now gonna be sent.
ਅੱਛਾ ਮਰਿਆ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ
Three remaining players. Aftershock try to create some space. They deny the weapon grab.
Oman push
ਚਲੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੱਲਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕੱਲਾ ਮਰ ਜਾਏਗਾ
एक पिक तो ले जाएगा ना ਹੁੰਦਾ टीममेट गन पीछे थ्रो कर रहे हैं नहीं देखिया तू
सर पाकिस्तान घुस गई भारतीय सेना
इसराइल ने हमला किया 200 ब्लास्टिंग मिसाइल
Holding here on the close angle.
सर
आज ले मैं तेनू
सुबह हमला किया तू होन गल कर
ये तू सुबह दा मिलिया मैनू
हाँ तू दस ईरान को एडी ताकतवर फौज नहीं है तो इसराइल ने एडी दूर रह के किया
इसराइल में यूएस है ना
What a spot. That blind dart through. I think it does get clipped by that one, but then TP's forward up into the smoke. Does it check down?
ਓਏ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੇਖ ਕੇ ਮਾਰਿਆ ਅਬੇ ਸ਼ਾਟਗਨ ਏਸ ਹੋਣਾ ਸੀ ਟੂਰਨਾਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ
बहुत ओपी सीन आ दिया 2v1 easy ये
नाइस 5-5 हो गया
What a way to get on the board.
Nice. GG, good game.
His first 3 kills with a Bucky.
I thought he was going to ace with it.
I did too for a second. I thought when he started pushing that corner, I'm like, oh boy, the Bucky ace. This Masters will have everything if he pulls that off. That's a hell of a round for Paper Rex.
ਆਏ ਨਾ 4 ਸੈਕਿੰਡ
We've seen them do that.
हाँ
Usually it's with the judge.
ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤਾ ਜਜ਼ਬਾਤੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਹਰ ਵਾਰੀ
प्लेयर अच्छा है गुड प्लेयर है अबे 10 राउंड में पहले 3 किल सी
है ना कर नाइस 4 सेकंड ਨੂੰ ਮਾਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਉਹਨੇ
वो सच में किसी राउंड चलता है
ओए नाइस
नाइस
अच्छा से
realizing how much lack of control they have on that side of the map. Trent has to have his head on a swivel.
Yeah, you can still expect that maybe Patman.
Oh, Alan. Gun barrel spotted, clips him just through the corner of the wall there at stairs. Vito in his own right. A clean upper a lot of the times, but just cannot hit that hospital flick. Valen comes up with a second elimination.
Patience paying off for G2 there.
2v4 Jin zinda le
मैच पसान गए
Jing similarly could be doing very much the same in this
nice
nice ओए यार
ये अच्छा था खेल लिया अप्रिशिएट तो करना बनता भाई
one more round to go the half.
Yeah, just G2 so aware of Paper Rex's tendencies. Again, getting those players just far enough out that they can find that opening kill outside of rubble.
Valorant is a good player.
And Valorant.
हाँ ओमन दोनों ही अच्छे ने ओमन D4 है
Yeah
having a great one, and yeah, I think you got to be a little bit frustrated there. Again, Paper Rex just kind of falling one by one. You have this showstopper, and it's a weak buy. Forsaken, of course, gonna double dip into that Bucky again. You can see that G2.
वो भी स्कैन तो क्यों में बचे
See if it's gonna be pulled here. Jogamo, that's the last target you want to have. That Neon has the escape ability. Get away. Just a lot of patience being shown this time by Paper Rex. Jiggle Peak spotted.
I'm trying to get a catch, but trying to get the Neon, going to prove to be difficult, and the showstopper doesn't actually go deep enough. Otherwise, it might have actually been able to find him. The decay was there. Levi, though, pushing forward onto the B side, able to find one. Forsaken comes on.
अबे यार something की कितना है
Spike gets ready to be planted. Should have
सी जान गया ना
मे बी
सी भी पहुंच रहे हैं ओए ये किधर है अच्छा मेटा
स्पॉन साइड ए बी मैन
4 सेकंड ने कटे ना
हां
4 सेकंड अच्छे राउंड निकाल लेंदा
और किशन मिल गई स्पाइक ले गया बी और नाइस
जीजी's
A phenomenal back and forth from both of these teams. You have to love the adjustments. You have to love what you're seeing from both squads. Really.
अबे ए अच्छी पिक्स निकाली से
Some great fundamentals, some great individual plays, some great lurking. That is exactly
जीजी's
यार डैगर कितनी प्यारी गन है
गन
स्किन
नाइफ
नहीं हेलफायर स्किन
अच्छा
वैंडल दे
मैं कह वो प्राइम कैरामिड कैंड है
नहीं
एक रूइंड अगर भी ऐसी ना वो नाइफ सी बड़ी पुरानी सी बड़ी डिमांडिंग सी जिन्हें शायद पता ही होगा
दोबारा फिर आई है डैगर एक ही नाम है
रूइंड डैगर
ओमन डैगर आई है न्यू स्टोर के अंदर हां
बैटल पास आया इसी नाल
रूइंड डैगर जैसी नहीं है लेकिन है नाम डैगर ही है अंदर अभी अच्छी स्किन है रिफ्लेक्शन कमाल है दिल कर रहे हैं ले लो
मेर बंदा भाई ला सकना
in Canada, you know, in his home turf.
It's amazing to be in Canada, be at home to
हाफ टाइम होया मैं हाफ टाइम ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਇਆ ਜਰਾ 1 ਮਿੰਟ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਹਾਂ
वो अपना हाफ टाइम करने जा रहे हैं
because we're from Montreal, so it wasn't that bad of a drive, and being able to see him live is amazing. It's incredible.
And lastly,
Israel Defense Forces कह रहे हैं अहमद Iran is a global threat. Israel is not the end goal.
If anybody can come back, they can do
20 ਦਿਨਾਂ ਤੱਕ ਇਸਰਾਇਲ ਨੇ 20 ਆਟਮੀ ਬੰਬ ਬਣਾ ਲੈਣੇ ਸੀ
ਇੰਡੀਆ ਵਾਰ ਮੋਨੀਟਰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਪਿਆ ਇਨਕਰੈਕਟ ਮੈਪ आजाद कश्मीर अरुणाचल प्रदेश are part of India. Please
we believe in G2, don't we guys? We believe in them. Thank you very much Justin for joining me, and let's see if G2 can
इसराइल ने मैप अपडेट कीता है ठीक है ਤੇ ਮੈਪ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਵੀ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੇ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੇ
ਭਾਈ ਇਸਰਾਇਲ ਨੇ 2 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਦਰ ਮਾਰਿਆ 2-3 ਵਾਰੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ
ਸਦਰ ਮਾਰਿਆ ਆਰਮੀ ਚੀਫ ਮਾਰਿਆ ਹੋਰ ਇਹ
2-3 ਵਾਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ
ਇਸਰਾਈਲ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਠੰਡਾ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਦੋਂ ਠੰਡਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਗੱਲ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਹਮਲਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੇ ਇੰਤਜ਼ਾਰ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਭਈਆ ਜਦੋਂ ਟਵਿਸਟ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਬਣ ਚੁੱਕਿਆ ਸੁਪਰ ਪਾਵਰ ਰਸਤਾ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਰਸਤਾ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਬਸ ਸ਼ਹੀਨ 1 ਮਿਜ਼ਾਈਲ ਜਰਾ ਈਰਾਨ ਦੇ ਸਟੋਰ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਰਖਵਾ ਦੇਣ
really solid fundamentally, obviously, and they have tremendous aimers, tremendous fraggers. We saw it time and time again where they were winning some of those first duels just out in the open. A little bit of util to create some space for Jogamo.
लेकिन मुल्क भी नहीं है तंजीम है तो तंजीम हमला करी जा रही है ये अपन मुल्क नहीं ना मानते
some of the best angle holders on the planet. Leaf in particular is so nasty, especially when he shifts over to C. Not going to be the case in this round, but
इसराइल ने पूरी इस्लामी के ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਮਮਾਲਿਕ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਬਜ਼ਾ ਕਰ ਲੈਣਾ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਕ ਤਨਜ਼ੀਮ ਆਣੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਅੰਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਾ
ਇਰਾਨ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ 2 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਨਾਲ ਇੰਜ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਨਾ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਨੇ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੂੰ ਅੰਬ ਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਝਾੜਦਾ
स्टार्ट हो गई
यार तू खाना खा लेना जो खा रहे
मैं नहीं मैं कैमरे देख ला मैं सामने बैठा हूं
मैं देखने तेरा मुंह ਅੱਗੇ ਨੂੰ ਸੀ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ
नहीं मैं वो कीबोर्ड जरा सेट को चीज़ां वगैरह के पीछे कर रहा ਸੀ
मैं पता नहीं आदत नहीं बदल गई जाऊं जाऊं
गॉग गॉग बंदा बन यार सोच ही कर लाया कि मैंने भुख लगी है दूजा अफसोस आया कि जरा जिधर ऑर्डर करना ओ नाइस जिधर ऑर्डर करना ना वो मोबाइल लगा कैमरे ते अबे यार G2 आला पता नहीं एक बंदा किवें खेल ਜਾਂਦਾ यार टूर्नामेंट ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ
Not available, flashes expended.
Gotta worry about this relay bolt from Jog.
Slide. Valen with the paranoia as he gets closer.
Oi, oi, PRX.
Nice.
Good round.
They gain the lead here in the attack of Lotus.
I love this pistol.
अच्छा round चला भाई करने लगा कुर्सी सीधी.
A lot of different options in this round. And it's like if something doesn't make any contact, we can go back the other way.
अब इस ओवर ने तो अच्छी गेम निकाली थी लेकिन फ्रेंजी काटी की राउंड.
Something there. Does a nice job. One of the things that G2 does against PRX, they do these little shoulder peeks to try to get them to pre-fire, and he actually holds and waits for the repeat from Leap. Takes him down. Nice try by Trent. Did a good job, and it is another force buy here from G2.
PRX have to be banking on this. Right here. Any other assumption would be a very foolish and incorrect one. As Forsaken playing around, trying to drum up some interest. Keep the stack over towards C. In the meantime, backpedaling over towards the rope. Jing going to be collecting the orb. Halfway mark to having that first showstopper of the half online.
No charges.
Shove back here for the moment.
अच्छी एंट्री ली है ना.
Good entry.
PRX. वो सारे रीटे तो खेल लूँगे उन्हें देखो. बिल्ड का मार मार के. उन्हें दूरा कर देना.
Nice. 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 Nice.
Nice. GG. Good game.
Weapon cut के मारे. Map से बाहर काटता.
I'm a bit surprised that G2 dipped into that well twice. That is dangerous stuff. Giving PRX a huge economic advantage to start this second half. And that is a great find from something. Right as Jogamo's trying to dash in. This is what you need from something. That sniping is his calling card. That and shorties. He needs to be impactful in that role. He needs to get those first kills going. He's going to be backed off by the relay bolt.
Shoved away, and he's going to push
forward.
Finds one in Trent. Trying to collect that orb, but Jogamo will be able to collect the kill. Pushes forward, and that's going to be a solid amount of information gained, given that you do have Leaf lingering there outside of B. So this tells them everyone from PRX is going to be pushing forward into the C site where Valorant is waiting to try to hold the line. Crunch from behind, getting ready to come through. Noise going to be made. Now going to be noted as Jogamo is all by himself.
अबे यार.
नहीं ठीक है भाई PRX. भूल जाना.
POV
की ओर दिखा देते हैं. अबे क्या डटी है एम साइड से. ये पूरा लोग रहता है ना.
और शायद उसी चांस दूसरा बेचारे ने मिलना ही नहीं से. आ गई वैसे वो भी.
वो ना होल्ड करके आराम से ना खेल रहे. उन्हें पता उन्होंने प्लान करना है.
वाइपर पीक लगेगी. नाइस.
वाइपर डाउन. नॉर्मल पिस्तौल ना नहीं करेंगे.
ਜਦੋਂ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਤੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੀ ਜੰਗ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਵੀ ਤੇ ਇਰਾਨ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਖੜਾ ਹੋਇਆ.
ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਗਿਆ?
ਹਾਂ
ਉਹ ਤਾਲੁਕ ਖਰਾਬ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਉਦੋਂ. ਫਿਰ ਬਾਅਦ ਚ ਉਹਨੇ ਤਾਲੁਕ ਠੀਕ ਕਰ ਲਏ ਸੀ.
ਉਹ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਨਾਲ ਡੀਲਾਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਪਿਆ ਸੀ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ.
ਉਹ ਫੇਸ ਵਾਸ਼ ਨੇ ਤਾਲੁਕ ਠੀਕ ਕਰ ਲਏ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਜਾ ਕੇ.
ਅੱਜ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ करारदाद पेश की थी इसराइल के खिलाफ हमले जड़े हुए हैं. नाले इसराइल ने दहशतगर्दी का नाम दिया.
इंडिया ने ईरान ने
पाकिस्तान
क्योंकि
दूजे मुल्क ਨੂੰ दहशतगर्द कहना बहुत बड़ी गल ਹੁੰਦੀ. ਉਹ ਵੀ ਆਪੀ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ
ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੀ ਸੀ ਸਾਈਡ ਸੀ ਨਾ. ਸਾਈਡ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਈਰਾਨ ਦੀ ਸੀ. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਸੀ. ਤੇ ਚਲੋ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੁਸ਼ਮਣੀ ਹੈ. ठीक है. बाद च पाकिस्तान ने जाके अज़रबैजान ईरान नाल तुर्किया नाल रशिया हर बंदों नाल श्रीलंका नाल नॉर्थ कोरिया बांग्लादेश राब्ते ठीक कीते. अलायंस बताई इन्वेस्ट कीती उन्होंने. इन्वेस्ट कीते.
ओए स्पैम ओए डैमेज ने इतना इतना स्पैम आया ही नहीं बंदा पूरा स्पैम पे.
उन सब नाल है. एशिया दे पाकिस्तान महफूज है. इंडिया अकेला है बस.
think
पाकिस्तान
without
कोई
the
ताकत
power,
टा नहीं
checking
सकती
that angle that maybe someone would be aware, but they were fully committed to the top
1 मिनट
side.
की हो गई
It's just a minor miscommunication as well as a
बाद
minor
में एक मिनट बाद
mechanical
सोचा
mistake
पाकिस्तान
there
इतना
from Patman,
पावरफुल हो
not
गया खुशी गई
sending the
मैंने
prowler harsh enough into the corner. Now sets up for a very difficult clutch position here for Paper Rex if they want to continue. Otherwise,
3v4 है ना
very good to close the
या
gap.
3v4
Themselves a
सब मेरा
उन
2v4 है
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਓਮਨ ਵੀ ਤਾਂ
Players
ਦਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਓਮਨ ਵੀ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ
Linger, try to get a flank going.
We're gonna get a nightfall off of this.
ਭਾਈ ਜੇ ਮਰੇ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਇੱਕ ਐਚਪੀ ਰਾਉਂਡ ਕੱਢ ਲੈਂਦੀ ਆਂਦੀ ਵੀ ਅਬੇ ਯਾਰ
Oh nice
4 ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ ਆਪਣਾ
oh fuck
ਡੇਢ ਯਾਦ ਆਈ
Spike will get planted. Nightfall way less likely to be seen in this round.
Yeah, I think this should be a hold unless somehow somebody gets a huge 2K.
2v4
Connection from the fault line. Divide.
ਕੀ ਪਤਾ ਕੱਢ ਹੀ ਲੈਣਾ
Now wide. In a risky spot.
ਅੱਲਾ
lol
Gets timing. Trent able to find it. Patman further whittled away at and leave. Starts around as a monster, ends it as one. 4K for him. Breaks this minor little streak here from Paper Rex. G2 themselves back on the horse. Keep damn near everyone alive.
Yeah, this is just one of those rounds where one unchecked angle basically ends the round before it even starts. To make matters worse, you threw a showstopper into that and didn't get any value out of it.
ਇਹ ਸ਼ੋ ਸਟਾਪਰ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਸ਼ੋ ਸਟਾਪਰ ਜਾਂ ਟਾਪਰ ਸਟਾਪਰ ਜਾਂ ਟੋਪਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ
showstopper
Mostly good. Patman
ਸ਼ੋ
gets a buy down to a bulldog.
ਸ਼ੋ ਟੋਪਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ
It's going to be the full buy now.
yes
Again here.
ਮੈਂ
for
ਸਟੋਪਰ
G2,
ਸਮਝਦਾ ਸੀ
Pit available for Leaf. Let's see what he wants to do with that, if he even wants to invest it. Maybe off the rip one. Or even, yeah, Jog knew right away. He's
Immediate
like,
backpedal.
Nope.
Flash sent out. Paper Rex in control here for them all.
ਆਪਾਂ ਕੰਪੀਟੀਟਿਵ ਯੂਰੂ ਗੰਦਾ ਸਮਝ ਨਾ ਆਵੇ ਅਗਰ
If anybody goes on a
ਟੂਰਨਾਮੈਂਟ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ
Actually going to use the TP deep towards A.
flash of the boom bot going through and
ਸ਼ੋਕਰ ਹੈ
into some swing. Able to find Jonah P immediately. Dimensional drift going to be going out. Jogamo going to be
invitation reveal ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ invitation ਵਾਸਤੇ ਯੂਰੋ ਜ਼ੋਪੀ
ਨਾਈਸ
across balance. Dead.
Patman
ਨਾਈਸ
nice Jin
ਨਾਈਸ ਨਾਈਸ
Already there.
Viper
The
should
sheer
be
wall,
spawned in
nowhere
the
to leave. Divide. Looking for him.
ਅਬੇ
obe oh
I mean, Leaf still demanding respect.
Nice.
Still had far too much.
ਵਾਈਪਰ ਨੇ ਵੈਸੇ ਹਾਂ ਏਮ ਅੱਛਾ ਸੀ ਵੈਂਡਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਦੂਜੇ ਨੂੰ ਦੋ ਗੋਲੀਆਂ ਵੱਜਣੀਆਂ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ
G2 from building up momentum as they hit double digits.
Love the way that they're exploding here. Once they make some contact with the Prowler, with the boom bot, and then it's just everybody heading to the
ਅਬੇ ਇਧਰ
side.
ਵੀ ਹੱਕਤਾ ਸੀ ਆਲਮੋਸਟ
Alt gained, alt popped for something to check in towards B and C link.
ਆ G2 ਨੇ ਅੱਛੇ ਪਿਕਸ ਨਿਕਾਲੇ ਸੀ
Aware of the space that he's not checking, ready for that top spot. And they overwhelm G2. And Valen looking very befuddled right now. This is a team that has handled Paper Rex with not ease, but some confidence in the last two times they played. This time around, Paper Rex looking very, very formidable. Again, it's all about some of these little mistakes that Paper X has cleaned up.
Yeah,
And
but the
today,
fucker
I've seen
gone.
them make quick adjustments. When something doesn't go right, they're not collapsing. They're not kind of just trying to beat their head against the wall, trying to figure out how to get through the defenses of G2. It's okay, that didn't work last time. Let's try something different. And let's make sure that we're a little bit more diligent. Make sure we're playing off of our utility. When that coordination's there, Paper X, some of the best in the world.
oh Paper is some of the best in the world Rifa ho rahi hai baba ji
First timeout call here from G2. A pit available. Hunter's Fury one charge off.
ਹਾਂ
The coaching staff
ਕੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਮਰਨ ਮਰਾਨੀ ਹੋਈ ਨਾ
they need to prevent this momentum build up here from the side of Paper Rex. Can't just bet on another PRX TL situation occurring once again.
Nope.
Didn't happen
This
on
is
Slip for you.
Trusted eBay
seemingly a different
seller.
Paper X today.
Once again,
ਐਮ ਬਲਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਆਫ ਸਟ੍ਰੀਮ ਜਰਾ ਪੁੱਛਾਂਗਾ ਦੇਖੋ ਪੈਸਿਆਂ ਦਾ
the rubble control and we'll be able to force
Trusted ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਔਨ ਸੀਨ ਦੱਸ ਦਿੰਦਾ
try to make them reroute. Hunter's Fury similarly trying
ਅਬੇ
to
ਭਾਈ
keep them off the entry. Paper Rex, they do okay, managed to grab the orb, but Batman
nice 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 Paper is good
solid kill.
ਲੈ ਪੇਪਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਬੰਦਾ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਤੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਪਿਆ ਗੁੱਡ ਗੁੱਡ
Reposition.
कोई नहीं मैं उन्हें मोटिवेट कर रहे हैं कि ये गुड करेंगे
अच्छा
Control.
या
Siphoned over towards the A site where Valen still sat here on top of Rubble just with the Stinger, but if anybody can get value at that range, of course is going to be him. Doctor try to whittle away at them. TP4, the paranoia is there, but Trent is there a little bit faster.
अबे यार
He gets his vision back. He's able to find Forsaken.
2v4 हो गया.
The one kill in reply.
हाँ यार shit.
Knocked down to 37 HP.
Jing immediately checking their flank.
लगता है इनको और appreciation चाहिए.
If there's any space open on the map, this may already be sort of a save position here for Paper Rex. We'll have to see.
30 seconds left.
That spike out in the open, no smokes to utilize. It's dangerous. Divide does grab it, but I don't know. There's just not enough time.
Yeah, with 20 seconds remaining, no information of what awaits them beyond the doors. We'll just stay clustered together, hold on to these weapons. Economy on the rest of the players,
10
otherwise
seconds left.
decently strong for G2 though. Very much a must-win round as they go ahead and have 4 players surviving off the back of Trent's timings just being so damn clean. G2 bring it now just 2 rounds separating.
That easy.
Yeah.
And Trent, just such a good player. You know, obviously so well known.
What the fuck was that, bro?
One of the best on the planet at that.
Yeah.
In the previous patch, but here back on the Sova, his old quintessential.
Yeah, Hammer.
He's stepping in and finding value when he needs to.
We sound as
Stinger, doing some real damage.
इधर आओ.
Classic round there from G2.
नहीं था.
Control, you pop the pit on the other side,
हाँ जी.
and you force your opponents into.
ये वो सब्सक्राइब कोई बंदा चैनल सब्सक्राइब करेगा ना उनका नाम आएगा फिर.
Oh, heavy driver. कितने सब्सक्राइब किया है सामने आए.
Already spamming Valen off that angle.
किस बदनसीब ने मतलब जिस किस्मत वाले ने सब्सक्राइब किया.
Seriously bro. मैं आइशो स्पीड वगैरह छाल मार देनी कैमरे ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. ਉਹ ਟਿਕੇ ਵੀ ਪਿੱਛੋਂ ਆ ਗਏ.
बैक फ्लिप.
ਹਾਂ. ਨਹੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਦੀ ਕਦੀ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਸਿਰ ਮਾਰਦਾ ਹੀ ਕੈਮਰੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ.
ਉਹਦਾ ਤੇ ਕੈਮਰਾ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਮਾਰਦਾ.
ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਚਵਲ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਪੀੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ. ਇਹ ਸਿਰ ਮਾਰ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਉਹਨੇ 40 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਕਰ ਲਈ.
भाई वर्ल्ड फेमस है वर्ल्ड फेमस.
ਉਹਦੇ ਇਨ ਰੀਅਲ ਸਟ੍ਰੀਮ ਦੀ ਕਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਵੀਆਈਪੀ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ. पेपर एक्स जित रही है मुझे लग रहा है उन्होंने खत्म कर देनी पेपर एक्स ने इधर ही.
Paranoia, however, connecting on the multiple players. Shove them back. Allows G2 try to get clustered together. Nightfall, I think gonna be a bit of a whiff here.
That's what that push out was for.
Going onto the corner, relay bolt gonna be connecting something. Pretty much stuck here in position. And Chocobo cleans up too. Forsaken doing his damage to try to keep his teammate protected.
Alter करती.
Not make it happen. The slide in divide. Cuts down the neon, but Trent finds Jing up over top of the box. A 2v4 now. Has to swing out. And Patman's only gonna be good for 1. Fault line does not connect. As Divide tries to split his aim. G2 continuing to run this back 2 rounds in a row. 1 round separating from tying it up.
G2 masterfully dodging that Nightfall was so impactful in that round. And then anticipating the crossfire setup that something got stuck into. Forsaken had to come to try to bail him out.
अहमद चैट ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਸੈਂਡ ਕਰੀ.
And the double swing there. Nice little jiggle peek from Jonah P as well. Really well thought out and coordinated by G2. Understanding what that aggressive push out by Paper Rex was all about. You just need a paranoia to back it off, a pause to dodge the Nightfall.
हाँ होने देख स्ट्रीम पे भी तेरा मैसेज होएगा. लेफ्ट डाउन देख.
Paper Rex needs to start trying to find some answers.
आया थी चला गया. बस ऑन मेरे को मोबाइल नहीं होएगा ना तो मैं चैट दे दूं देख. दी खान्स. कैसा सेटअप है?
Good 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 good.
किसी फेक चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करे ना फिर पता लगेगा कि वो सब्सक्राइब वाला वो सीन चल रहा है ओके या नहीं. एक उत्ते वाचिंग वाला भी ऐड कर देना.
For a bit of a forward peek. towards A.
This is a critical round for Paper Rex.
Try not to die.
They are spending a lot of money here.
Time to jump.
Even buying up to a Guardian for something. A lot of half armors.
Going out.
Have to try to find ways to get this done. Jing! Oh, that was so close.
Bounds across in towards the corner. Swings out. Valen continuing the challenge here, continuing to try to find that kill. Not going to be cleared. Valen will concede the angle. Allows for Jing to stay alive here for the moment. Tap at the door, gate crash back into a lobby. It's like PRX trying to see if they can catch somebody along the sight line. Speaking of which, Jogamo off at the ready.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna be a quick 1-for-1. Forsaken does get the headshot.
20 PJ पिटाई भी दिया है ना.
Leon on the floor. 4v4. Jing though, 32.
Area clear. Nice.
And here for Patman. They juggle it over. Answer's gonna be no. So showstopper not going to be built up, but right here. A rare little oopsie from Trent on the shock dart.
Spike planted.
Unable to find an initial chip value.
Vice wall gets tripped. It's gonna let him know that there's a alert
यहाँ बस
player.
peak हो easy होगा ना.
Should be Devi's responsibility.
Toxins going up.
It's gonna come down to timing for Leaf.
The haunt sent, nothing spotted. Two trying to push forward, but Devi
Nice.
at the ready. Gets rid of the flanker. The time starting to dwindle. The swing out. The instant headshot into the spray down. Trent.
यार ये तो G2 लाइक एक आधा बंदा हल्का हो ਜਾਂਦਾ ना वो गेम ਲੈ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਇੱਦੀ.
They're frantically hunting, trying to spot them out.
Well player.
Surrounded. They have them split.
Two more rounds to go.
11-9. They denied G2 the tied scoreline.
And it's a little bit similar to their pistol round, where they're going to use something early to get to that tree door to open it. But this time he TP's back. They go for a stacked push. And that's a great call because they're able to shut that operator of Jogamo down and open up the site for themselves. Just some great ring around the rosy here. Forsaken and Jing in lockstep there. That duo so good together. Played together for so long.
Side forward, Jogamo. An aggressive play.
वो आगे जाके मार के पीछे आ गए. ये क्या बात हुई?
Showstopper once again not needing to be a concern. Players bounding through the door. Trails telling the story here for Devi. He will just stay in position just in front of B. Something pushed up forward. Finds one.
Nice.
Gets his. Gets out.
You can see with this
GG's.
playing to B or C the whole time. And G2 has completely misread it, expecting.
Is in so deep.
Yeah, they were expecting Paper Rex to go to A again, to try to double down into what had been working. But Paper Rex wisely changing up strategies here. And they're going to have info on the lurk potentially, and this is going to have to be pretty pacey from G2. It's going to take them a long time to get to the other side of the map.
Both teams worlds apart. Curious if Forsaken
4v4 है ना?
from the shadows go for a scout here, but now your wall is there.
Yes.
Cuts them off. Players split. Something looks like he's going to go sliding forward towards that one-way smoke. Steel guard. And here in
But यार. नहीं
no
सी
weapons
सी
of the
आपने
two.
बंदा नहीं
The opposite side of the door. Recon going to be cleared out. This fault line does not connect onto something. Aftershock. He's already swung out forward. He's already got that.
ओए उन्हें वाइड पिक देने की कोशिश की थी देखी? उन्हें वाइड पिक देने की कोशिश की थी देखी?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
Up 12-9. One away from knocking G2 into the lower bracket.
This is just really good calling from Paper Rex. Round-to-round changes are absolutely befuddling G2. They're seeing a very different Paper Rex today. It isn't just full-on early committals. The first side of contact not always going to be where Paper Rex is going to go. Something with these early lurks on the Yoru have been giving them fits. And G2 is going to pop what could be their final time out of the match.
And that is something that we were not seeing.
कोशिश क्या कर बस उन्होंने.
Team Liquid, it was something regularly getting punished off the rip. Misjudging how much free space he had, pushing forward into
G2 ने टाइम अब ले लिया नूबड़े यानी लास्ट राउंड है.
अरे यार. G2 की बेसिक ही थी ना.
This has been something that we've known and loved for quite some time. He's finding that impact on the regular. Right there alongside Jing, who is leading the lobby. A big bounce back from what we saw. For G2 now though, an all-in send. 3 rounds needed in a row to take this into overtime and do what Liquid could not. As they look to try to extend this over into a third and final map to still have an opportunity to keep themselves in this upper bracket.
A couple big ults to play with in this round. You've got that Hunter's Fury, you've got the Rolling Thunder. Trent has been so on point with these Hunter's Furies. He's always seemingly good for one.
He has been. But that thrifty impact, that forced buy, hasn't been getting as much value for G2. It needs to right here, or it's all going to come to an end. Outlaw in the hands of something. TP, top of rubble. Opts to not stick around. Doesn't want to overstay his welcome. Backs off, and they're able to avoid the gamble here from G2. Plant will provide a nightfall for Patman.
आखिरी राउंड है ना?
At the ready for Jing.
हाँ?
आखिरी राउंड है.
Yes.
Look at this, shove them back. Smoke gets cycled in with a Hunter's Fury, able to find its value. Forsaken going to be taken down. Showstopper lobbed in to no avail. Something does manage to find one. Jonah P going to be traded out. In the end, as the dust settles, it's a 4v4. But G2 have successfully staved them off.
Yeah, this Outlaw, there's 3 players left with 50 armor. So it isn't going to kill anybody in one shot except Valen. So this buy, see if something can still get value out of it. Another great lineup there by G2, just pushing for that space to get the easy angle with the Hunter's Fury onto that choke point.
स्क्रीन शॉट सही नजर आ रही है ना?
Force their way through, but
बिल्कुल सही.
it's going to be a spot into something.
By himself. Leaf trying to reposition. Favors his chances if he goes for this push. On the closer angle. Something looking for the second shot. Wow. Able to find him in the end. In the head is
ओए.
similarly.
एक बंदा आया ना हर बारी. Nice.
Winning the fight. But the time is just not quite there. Trent will get the pick, and that is going to be the round over. Nothing more that something could do. Just 2 HP. G2. They will scrape by with a win. They find their stability. The ult usage is perfect.
शेयर भी तेना.
2 more rounds to take this into OT.
This is a great call here from G2. Willingly giving up space on C to set up for this ult combo. Who works a treat, and then just Paper Rex just kind of not.
हमारे इधर बड़ी स्मूथ पिक्स निकली है ना?
Being at the door. And yeah, they're just walking right by it, not even checking it. And that's a filter for sure. You're also giving G2 the ability to get some guns into this round. They get a little bit of their economy back. Leaf is going to have a judge. Paper X is yeah, a little bit scattered.
Stinger and a Bulldog in the mix, plenty of half armors. It'd be a great time for Jogamo to try to go for that outlaw, but
ये जल्दी कर लो यार, last round है.
Immediately sent here from something. Bounding out of it.
यार वो दिखांदे यार shit. वो शॉट वाला किल दिखांदे.
छोड़ू था ना?
A 2v4 with Leaf for the judge.
4v2. Easy. Oh, fuck. Oh shit. Oh bang. अबे यार. कोई नहीं 1v1 ना, अमन लो है. Easy. अमन लो है, easy. अबे उधर देख. यार. Well.
The dominance. As we all round away from being taken to overtime.
क्या easy मार दिए सारे टाइमर्स जाके. पागल सी अमन.
विफ हो गया ना करो. 8 बेचारा टॉक्सिक हो जाता हर बारी. यार अहमद इधरों हार गया, काम बड़ा खराब ही है.
अफसोस है यार इन्हें.
सानू एक और गेम खाना चाह रहे हैं.
That he has done very much the same here for his team as they look to get this into OT.
One away from the Steel Garden for Dubai.
Dogamo able to spot out multiple players.
He's got that overdrive to boot. That is so scary. Saw what he can do with it earlier.
Blind spray out. No contact found, Patman. Forced to tuck back here for the moment. Tap on the door, Jing. One blast pack, the judge in hand. Boombot to try to check. Jogamo pulls off the angle.
यार ओमन गेम काट गया यार पिछले राउंड से.
Spike being first, but he doesn't.
Nice. Kod banda hai.
ओए आगे में मारा
Wall bang.
And that's going to be a player advantage here for the side of PRX. Hasn't meant a ton for them in these past couple rounds, but the paranoia will stave them off here for the moment. The two-player split, Valen, Trent, in through tree, Jonah P. Checking stairs, watching for a late wraparound. Forsaken on the push, is able to find Valen, traded out. Catman holding close.
जीत गई
Oh, nice.
बड़ा सपोर्ट किया इस टीम नु है
साडे स्पोर्ट नाल जीती है सारे चौथी दे में बैठे हुए ने
जेड़ा से करन गया से
और
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਹਾਰ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਸੀ ਰਿਵੈਂਜ ਲੈਣ ਆਏ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਰਿਵੈਂਜ ਫਿਰ ਤੋਂ
और भी फुल हैवी
रिवेंज लेने आए थे फिर भी ले गए
The mirror image, the reflection is inverted. PRX take down G2 and keep themselves in the upper bracket. They will take their bows in front of these elated fans as they have pulled off something that not many people thought was going to happen here today. Do you know what? He's abandoned the train. I'm happy to take the reins. Ladies and gentlemen, all aboard. Choo-choo. Full steam ahead. As PRX look immaculate. We're going to go ahead and send it down, though, as we will hear from our players in the Verizon post-match interview.
Track by track, this PRX train just keeps moving, and as they pick up their first win here at playoffs, I'm going to try and grab Dubai over here for a quick interview. Hello, come and join me. Come and join me. Come and stand over here. First of all, congratulations, Dubai. You get your revenge on G2. You pick up this massive win here. But my question to you is, how did you mentally recover what happened against Team Lookit? Because often that is the most difficult.
For sure.
I mean,
GG, yeah, GG.
It wasn't
I love
easy,
it.
I would say. We went back